guess.
Well, the fact that AI is going to be more knowledgeable slash might already be more knowledgeable. It's we're moving into an interesting predicament. Like I think humans might just become a pet or an artifact.
Well, I think, we won't need 8 billion of it. I don't know what the right number is, but we have some purpose. We're building Earth's nervous system. I think we're probably something analogous to neurons or some combination of neuron and astrocyte or something like that. I think we have a function on the living Earth, but it doesn't require 8 billion. I don't know how many it does need, but I think that's part of the transition we're going through, is that the old civilization is fading, and the one that's going to last for the next million years is coming online now. And it could well last up 10 million years. We may be talking about a civilization that can be continuous for millions of years. And that's impossible to even imagine what that means.
Yeah, which you kind of described as like one of those mass extinction events.
Well, this is, the punctuated equilibrium story. That's the story of evolution. That's the way it works. I mean, there is some continuous evolution, but the vast majority of it is there are long periods of stability and short, dramatic periods of quick change, and then long periods of stability. And we are near the end of one of the punctuations, I think.
Odds are yes. But hopefully the AI is able to guide us and...
It's our savior.
Yes.
We won't have to, we're free. I mean, we're not now, but 20 years from now, basically, we got to get robotics working, and not just humanoid robots, but, just getting to deal with the physical world with, machines. And that's getting really good, but that's important. And the AI is already good enough to do a lot of it. Most of the governments of the world, the management of Earth's resources can't be left to humans. They're a bunch of thugs that can't be trusted. With proper management of Earth's resources, we're all billionaires. Instead of Bill Gates and Elon Musk and a couple thousand people with 95% of the world's wealth. That's just insane.
Yeah, I've seen, I think just last week, the Atlas. I'm not sure what model it was, but it's a pretty good one. The automakers are already using this humanoid-looking robot. Very...
It's kind of, again, most work, there just won't be anything for humans to do except to maintain Earth's brain. That's our job.
I mean, honestly, the work that I'm doing right now, I'm just like, this will be gone within a year if things are progressing like they are.
I think we're headed into an entirely different world. It could be as long as 20. It's not going to change in the next year. Although it is going to change in the next year, but not all the way. But I think the rate of change is going to be increasing yearly. It's going to change more this year than it did last year, and the coming year is going to change even more.
Yeah, the menial jobs will just keep on getting cut, and keep on going up the ladder until it's doctors and...
Well, there'll be a few people. There will be some people. There will be some things that you need people for, but it won't be much, And
then where is the line? It's society is operating the way it is because of the workforce and whatnot. But when the workforce is laid off, where's the line gonna be drawn? Like,
No, it's not. I don't know how this transition is going to occur. It could be real bad. It could be really problematic. The key issue is people waking up, as far as I can see. A planet full of brain damaged language monkeys who are under the spell of the voice in their head has no future. And it could be a real ugly transition.
Look at the. I don't even want to bring.
Wait, are you going to move your microphone again? Because I can't, your voice is all screwed up again.
Testing.
Yeah. Are you back?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So when you look at say Venezuela, the motorcycle people, what am I talking about? My fucking language is so fucking crude right now. Like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, the gangs of people who are under Maduro are running the streets and gonna shoot anyone that is on the other side.
I don't know anything about what's going on down there. I really, don't care, actually. Yeah, the whole situation. Yeah, I haven't looked into it. I have no idea.
Man, it's gonna happen. Supposedly, it's gonna happen in Iran like this weekend.
Yeah. Who knows? Trump. Yeah. Well, the best I can hope for is that he's going to wake a lot of people up. A lot of people are going to realize just how fucking crazy this guy actually is. And I think a lot of people have been under the spell for a long time, and hopefully this is going to wake up a few of them anyway. Hopefully a lot of them.
Yeah, I think it'll wake up the whole world and be like, we've been asleep, like, we just had two world wars in the 1920, 19...
Yeah, we're turning into Germany.
Here it comes again. It's like, hopefully everyone is like, hey.
Well, I don't think it's going to, I think he will not succeed. What will happen is he may just destroy the United States. The United States may break up. That's entirely possible. In fact, that's what I'm hoping will happen, because California by itself is way better off without the United States. Fuck them. We have the 5th biggest economy in the world. 4th biggest. It's actually, we just moved up. California is 4th, I think, after the United States, Japan, China, Germany. I think, we're 5th, whatever. Anyway.
Thanks for being out.
We don't need the United States. They are drawing on us.
I got a couple of words for you this morning. I want to encourage you. Common sense is back to Congress.
Everywhere.
I want to thank the Alaska Penny Freedom for having the courage to stand and fight for women and girls all across this country. I know ADF well. I used to be one of their litigation attorneys.
Hello?
Sometimes I miss that work. Listen, speaking of courageous individuals, we have a lot of brave women here. One of them is my attorney general from the state of Louisiana, Liz Burrell, is here. She's been one of the fighters. You'll hear from her in a moment.
Duh.
All of these folks are fierce advocates and defenders of women's sports, and the truth underlies that. I'm the dad of 2 girls. My girls were athletes as well. We know what's fair and what's right. I'm proud.
Let's see.
It's number 8 in the world?
It says number 8, but then I'm looking at it and doing like a fact check thing. It says...
Does it give you where does it put California? I think it's 5.
It doesn't even say California. And it's not giving me like a 1 through 8.
Okay, tell it to just ask it for the 10 biggest economies in the world, whether by by nation or by state. You just have to make sure you want to include nations and states in the Anyway, it's probably up there. It's probably up in the top 10, I would imagine. It's like way better than the rest of the United. Yeah, where does the United States come in on that? Oh, it's top. That's right, because it's the biggest. But that's largely because of California. Without California, the United States probably would drop.
Wow. And Gemini's ranking, it was number 1 U.S., number 2 China, number 3 Germany, number 4 India, number 5 Japan, number 6 California, number 7 UK, number 8 France, number 9 is Texas, and 10 is Italy.
Interesting. Italy. Okay, well that's, yeah, we don't need that. So go to the first 9. Read the first 9 again.
U.S., China, Germany, India, Japan.
Go slower. This is in order of, yeah.
Yep.
So again, so U.S. is first. Does it give numbers? How much bigger each one is than the
Yes,
rest?
okay. U.S., 31 trillion, China, 20 trillion, Germany.
Oh boy, that's a huge difference. I'm surprised.
You know, and I'm not 100%, whenever I ask AI anything like this, I'm not.
Well, of course you don't know, but you ask a person, you don't know whether you can trust them either. You don't. You know, this is just something to, you know, make the conversation go.
Yeah. So U.S. 31 trillion, China 20 trillion, Germany 5 trillion.
Wow. Boy, it goes down fast. Okay, go on.
India 4.5 trillion, Japan 4 trillion, California 4 trillion, Japan's 4.4, Japan.
Anyway, they're close, yeah.
So, like I said, California's number 6, and then going to 7 is the UK at 4 trillion. France is at 3.5 trillion. Texas is at 2.7 trillion.
Yeah.
2.6, and that's the GDP approximately.
Interesting. Well, the point is that the United States is a drag on us.
Oh.
There was a time when it was good to be part of the United States. Back during the Cold War, California benefited from being part of the United States because, like, for every tax dollar that California sent to the federal government, they got like $1.50 back from the federal government in defense spending. So they were actually the beneficiaries of that whole thing because the federal government was spending a lot of money on military, and that was largely centered in Southern California. But after the Cold War, it's just the opposite. Now for every dollar that California sends to the federal government, we get like 80 cents back because we're supporting all the fucking Trump supporters in the middle.
I have no control over politics, is what I've come to.
No, but you do have control about how you think about it and how you talk about it with other people.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I get so upset or agitated or whatnot, and it's pointless because...
Oh, it's pointless to get upset. Listen, when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it'd be sort of pointless to be upset about all the stupid caterpillar cells that are stewing. You know, the butterfly cells concern themselves with building a butterfly, not whining about the fucking caterpillar cells that are still doing that old shit. You know, most people right now haven't got a clue what's going on. But that's okay. Most of them are nice, you know, okay, sort of, you know. But they're not involved in creating the future of this world. But they could be there could be a huge war. I mean, it could be really ugly transition. I hope that doesn't happen, but
it's going to be ugly. Like I said, EMP attack, I think that's the most thing.
Well, I'm just thinking within the United States.
Yeah, the EMP.
Okay, you're thinking about the government using EMP?
Oh, no, not our government. I'm just saying, like, this is, like, I believe we are in World War III right now, and things are...
First of all, you don't, there's no need to believe anything. It's a possibility.
Right. Yeah. Like, World War I, there was trench warfare. World War II was...
World War III, nobody has a clue what it's actually going to be.
Right, but it could be this right now, and this is.
Well, drones have certainly changed the game a lot.
It is insane, like, and then this supposed direct energy weapon that they used in Venezuela that made soldiers bleed from the nose and vomit blood and stuff, incapacitated them essentially. A sonic weapon is what it was called, and that's just rumors. I don't know. Could be propaganda, but the Havana syndrome was a thing.
Ah, you're back.
Yeah, my phone just took a poo-poo, unlocked screen and everything. Where was I ranting? Something about
Something about some new they used in Venezuela.
Yes, and like I said, it could be propaganda, but it could be a real thing, and I think it is a real thing because in the news there's talk about our diplomats being attacked by some sort of sonic weapon, and I think this is that same technology being used.
I don't know. I don't have time to spend polluting my nervous system with that shit.
Right, I don't know. It could be propaganda, but I think that with our technology
Anyway,
nowadays,
what can that information have to do with anything you can do that's going to make your life better or the world any better?
Right, but I mean, like, we're talking about drone warfare. I just connected the dots with that. The next weaponry that.
No, but drones are cheap. That's the beauty of drones. They cost $500, and they destroy planes on the ground that cost $20 million. It's fucking insane.
It is insane, but then you look at the spider webs of pollution, like the optic fibers and the plastics and all.
Oh, yeah. Well, the whole planet is just in such an interesting state right now. And I think we're between the caterpillar and the butterfly. That's what we're witnessing.
It's all gonna get buried. In 100,000 years, it'll be a fucking layer of fucking silt.
Well, you got all these stories in your head. Do you actually believe this shit, or why do you even talk about a story like that?
When I say the layers of silt, it's just that, you can look at the carbon record, layers of how the Earth progresses and weather, etc., and the rock layers and everything.
Those are over millions of years, not thousands.
Okay, well, I believe that whatever is happening right now will be deposited in the silt somewhere.
Stuff gets deposited in some places and it accumulates or gets washed away in other places. So it's not uniform all over the place. Some places it's still building up. Other places are getting worn down right now. So it's a complex system. We don't understand it. I don't understand it. So I'm just assuming. Again, I just make up this story. Earth is a living organism and it's going through some sort of metamorphosis. That's the only model I have that even closely works to try to make sense out of what's going on. And it's just a metaphor. But if you've got anything better, I'd be glad to hear it.
No, you're not. A different, I guess the pivot, this might be a completely different chain of topic, if you're okay with that.
Go ahead.
Is that, I'm standing on this rock, this granite dome, a geological formation, and there are...
Right now? Were you...
No, not right now, no. Okay. I was standing when I got this epiphany is...
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm looking at this thing and I see it start to sparkle and it's a rock, it's fucking dense and it's sparkling at me, and then I'm like looking at my own skin, and it's also reflecting, and everything is a reflection, and it just made me question mirrors and reality in general. Like, it's, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it is an interesting concept to play with, is that we're all just reflections. Like, we think that this thing in front of me is solid, it's not reflecting, I can see it, I can touch it, yada, yada, yada.
No, but listen, that happens in dreams, and you're perfectly okay with accepting that in a dream. You're sitting at a table, you can feel your elbows, and you can hear the people, the dishes clanking. None of that shit existed. There weren't any molecules that those were composed of. But here, well, the table I'm sitting at must really have atoms and molecules. What if it doesn't? What if it's just like a dream? But it's a coordinated dream. It's Bob's dream, not my dream. See, my dream, I'm just me, even if there are 30 people in that restaurant. But I'm just me. But when Bob dreams, Bob is all 30 people and the tables, and the floor, and the ceiling, and the light bulbs, and the washer. Anyway, it's all Bob's dream. But none of it actually exists.
If you keep on pulling away at these strings like that, like if you believe, like honestly believe that this could be a dream and your dream.
So you don't have to believe it. You just have to take it as a possibility, a way of thinking. That's all you have to take it as. Don't believe it. In fact, that would be stupid to believe this. This is just another map. It's just that it's a much better map for certain things than other maps. Like street maps are more useful than topo maps for certain things, and other things you need a topo map for. So this is just another map. Well, it's not just another map. This is a fucking great map, but it's not the way it really is. It's just a good map.
I just worry that
Our aim in drafting the working class tax cut was very simple. We wanted to make
Reality?
it exists.
Wait, reality? I mean, that's a nice word.
Operating system. You know how people can go crazy, that you can become crazy yourself.
But again, based on my story, who's looking through everybody's eyes?
I mean, there's stories of people being completely normal and losing their minds all over the place.
There's all sorts of stories. So what? What does that have to do with anything?
I don't want to become that story.
But who do you think you are?
It's a fucking self-image, a story itself, I guess.
Okay. So the truth is, you don't really know. You have habits of talking and using the word I that sound and feel familiar. But when you really take a good close look, you don't have a clue what the fucking word I actually refers to.
Should take credit.
I mean, sometimes, of course, it's used differently in different situations. It's a real conundrum, as they say.
Say the least.
It's just coming to grips with that.
They should.
And being honest and admitting that I really don't, I've never found any theory or set of words that have satisfied me about what the word I actually refers to. I've heard lots of stories and people's definitions.
I hope you guys want to hear this story. This is the story that every one of you
sound very good to me.
between the years.
See, it's hard to remember that when you're trying to describe with language a concept like I, me, this, that. This is
You don't,
how I see it.
if you don't have that filter yet, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
What could be,
But
and
I got that picture from Jack and Joshua,
what
and
is
I see us in the middle of a
I forgot.
communist revolution, and I would
No,
like
you
to
didn't forget, you never
propose
knew.
that we beloveds stay together, keep forming our
There is
friendships,
no
because,
There's
we have a
nothing you
mission
can
of,
say. There's no
outing
language that
that
can capture
communist
what
revolution and
I
stopping it.
is. Even that concept is just
So
meaningless.
that's what I'm tossing out as our mission. And of course, Mike Benz was in there, is in the mix as well. He's doing a brilliant job.
That's where
And
confidence
Scott
comes in,
put
but like
a lot of attention on him. So thank you all very much. I love you. I hope to make friends with you. Owen, please keep us together. And just keep finding ways to keep us together, keep the friendships going, because we are actually fighting for our country, and we are literally fighting for our lives.
Yeah,
Once you start to see it, you can't unsee it.
I certainly see a lot of the things that they're trying to do, and I also see a lot of the things the Trump administration is doing to fight back, and I think they're having a lot of successes, but we're certainly not done or out of the woods, so there's a lot left to do. And I think right now, one of the immediate things is getting the vote out for the midterms and making sure that Trump stays in control of Congress to the point where he can still be effective and isn't deluged with impeachments and other stupid things.
Well, I have actually some experience on that, because I've been involved in local politics in Iowa in the central. I don't know if you know that the burden is supposed to be carried locally by central committees, and they are governed by state law and what they're supposed to do. And I would say, see if you can get involved in your local Republican Central Committee. It really requires going and talking to people. Americans for Prosperity would give classes on how to door knock and go out and door knock with people. They're the reason why in Iowa we have all our members of Congress, the House of Representatives are Republican. And so it's door knocking and phone banking. That's really what you have to do. And it is not bitching on X. It is learning those skills, taking the time. And if you do it in groups, then it gets to be fun. And if somebody's mean to you, then you just talk to your friends and you're fine.
Yeah, and in my personal situation, I'm a little discouraged locally just because I'm pretty close to Chicago, and I don't know that I could make much of a difference even if I did. I'm not sure that I would think much more of the Republicans in Illinois than I do of the Democrats. What I did personally last election cycle was write a bunch of postcards and send them to Pennsylvania. And Scott Pressler had a nice app for that, and it would give you all the names and addresses to send them to. And all I had to do was just go onto Amazon and order a pack of, patriotic postcards. And Scott's app would tell you exactly what to say. So all I had to do was write it out and put it in the mail with a stamp. And I must have sent 150 of them. And I don't know how much difference I made, but even if I got a few people out to vote that weren't going to anyway, then I feel like I made a difference. And
you're absolutely right. It is important to put your efforts where it's going to make a difference. And Scott Pressler is organizing that. He's somebody I know from CPAC in real life. Although not really well. We just met each other at CPAC. But you do have to enlighten people, and you actually can phone bank for other states because they have an app. There are phone apps that you do, and you just connect with the people there and say, I would like to help. And I don't remember if it's AFP's app or the Republicans app gamifies it, which makes it more fun. One of them gamifies it. But that is how you get it done. And the problem is that the Republicans are asleep, and the central committees are generally run by people over 70. So, and I hate to confess this, but some of the problems that they have is that they're busy fighting each other for a tiny bit of power and prestige. So, even if you don't like everything about Americans for Prosperity, they do turn the vote out and they do get conservatives elected. I would recommend them, and I would recommend the other thing you can do is to call the member of Congress or call somebody and ask how you can get involved. But it's phone banking and it's door knocking and it's sending those notes and just literally going to people and saying, if we do not win Congress in November, Trump, we're going to have nonstop impeachments. And also, it's going to be, Republicans will be hunted times 1,000. Because now they're going to the gun ranges and they're saying we should be killing people.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible that they're so transparent about a lot of these things. And they're out and out saying they want to just impeach Trump on whatever they can come up with, and if they can get the votes, I'm sure they can create a whole bunch of fake impeachments just like they did in his first term. And I think we need to put a stop to it and make sure that it doesn't change in Congress in terms of control, and that we put Vance in a good position for 2028. So it's all very important, and I hope we can all work together to make it happen. Thanks, Cynthia.
I want to pitch helping out the members of Congress that we have in Iowa, especially mine, Marionette Miller Meeks. She is a retired lieutenant colonel, and she's also a doctor, an ophthalmologist. And oh my God, is that woman just a ball of fire? But she's the one who won her election in 2020 by 6 votes. There was redistricting, and it was better, like 20,000 votes in 2022, but it was only 798 in 2024. And she is in the crosshair. She's one of the ones that the Democrats are going to put millions of dollars into picking her off. Yes, do find members of Congress like that, get involved. And if you can't door knock, you can phone bank for anybody in the country. And that is what makes people wake up. And if you have little parties to phone bank, it makes it so much easier. That's how it's done. And I had no idea I was going to say that.
Okay, thanks, Cynthia. All right, let's go to Hamus and then Scott.
Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, everyone. I've been married 26 years to the same woman, and we were chatting Sunday morning about Scott and his condition and how hard it was to watch. And I was doing okay today until I watched the Akira the Don's remix of him, his stepdaughter's soccer games, and that I had a big cry, and it's still a lot for me as well. But I want to say, if he had quit, if he had given up and gone to the pharmacy and picked up that prescription, he wouldn't have lived to see what we all witnessed, which is an administration that grew a pair and went and actually captured, narco-terrorists. And I know that it must have been so satisfying in the back of his mind after all the fighting and conversations around losing his stepson to fentanyl, and how that must have made him feel. He made it long enough to witness that. And the other issue is the fraud, how he's, in my brain, it's like embrace and amplify. The system provides what it was designed to, and the fraud that's being uncovered, and how he's programmed us to see that and amplify that. And there's a movement. Brian, I think the word you were looking for is awakening. I feel like, I'm going to close with this, but there is an awakening in that it's the reframe, and what he gave us was the ability to see what's going on and really be able to take action. And I want to say, he had his moments about being a pirate. Elon Musk's a pirate. When I think about his legacy is that meme about the Captain Rob. It was Captain the pirate meme. We are Scott Adams now. I never met him, but I'm glad to know him. Thank you.
Me too. Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's go to Scott, and then Chuck, and then I think we'll call it a close for today. We'll have another one of these. Scott, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Yeah. As with all this, I was shocked by this morning's news, and I'm just really grateful for this community because it's been one of the most significant experiences in my life. I would have to say, although I already had a savior, Scott rescued me, and I joined this community about a year and a half after my wife passed away. We were married for just under 20 years, and I was desperately lonely. And
sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And I was just really drawn to the promise of this group that might help me cope with loneliness. The man cave was such a huge impact beyond the daily coffee. Having coffee, having the morning sip was like a reminder. Just get up in the morning and be there on time to experience something with the community. And so knowing this end was coming was hard. I feel like we keep losing people, what the sheriff said, but as Bongino has said before, next man up, and Scott has left behind this community, and although he's irreplaceable, I think this community, we're going to be here for each other, and it's going to support directives. He taught me something significant. The biggest takeaway I got from him was the difference between wanting something and deciding to do something, and when I decided to get grief counseling, it made all the difference for me. And I just want to continue to try to be useful. So that's kind of my game plan going forward. But I just want to express my gratitude to the group for the many people who are behind the scenes helping to make the show happen, especially in the last week. I think we could all see how shockingly quick the last week he was deteriorating, but he was fighting right up to the very end, and he taught us how to end well, and that is something that we can all aim for, I think. So I appreciate that last final lesson from him.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thanks, Scott, and I'm glad he helped you, and I'm looking forward to continuing to get to know you and interact with you. So stick around. All right, thanks. Let's go to Chuck. I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Shelley for letting us all be here to experience everything. It's been a very existential experience. Now, this morning, as I heard Scott pass, I had just sent a note to Bookish Girl, and now after sending it, it seemed just so displaced. But as soon as I heard Scott's passing, I immediately wanted to talk to one of her fellow beloved, Buck Dharma, and I figured I'd hit the head and then call him, and of course, my Buck Dharma bat phone rings. So here we are, two beloveds, crying our eyes out. One of them's on the toilet, at least one of them. And all I gotta say about that is all of you know you've listened to Scott on the can before. Now, next week is gonna be 3 years of effective alcohol, poison, brainwashing. And I lost 55 pounds with that too, and it stayed off. So that's really cool. And I just wanted to give you a little message from Buck, and I think this would be a good ending here.
Okay. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. All right, James, you had your hand up? Go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. It was quite something to tune into the live stream this morning and get the news from Shelley. And what was so impressive was to see that it was there delivering the news for all of us. So I think everyone else has said so much about what all of us are feeling. And I think it goes to show that God's plans really aren't man's plans, because Scott was given so much time to say goodbye, and we got to say goodbye to him. And for a lot of people, you know, the death journey doesn't really happen like that. It can be quite sudden. It can happen without warning, and we were given that. I will say that Scott's ability to give us the filter, and for all of us now to take that energy and go into the world, as fantastic as that is, I think it also bears us a great responsibility, and that we need to look upon other people who haven't been with the Coffee with Scott Adams and the reframes that Scott has given with a great degree of love and kindness, because we were all blind once and Scott opened our eyes, and it's been so impressive to see him just keep going and demonstrate, I guess, what a great man is. So thank you to Owen for getting the news stories together every morning, and to Marcella for doing that. Thank you, Erica, for being the community person and the merch lady who vigorously defended the merch online when people came after you, I noticed. And you've quite rightly said it's not about the merch, it's about the message and what is going with it. And to Sergio and SJV for being such wonderful co-hosts with Owen, because a grassroots effort is emblematic of an idea that can't be killed. And I think that the idea that Scott gave us all is going to live for a very long time. So yeah, today is a rough day, but I think the great thing is the sun comes up in the morning and God gives us a new day to make new memories. And I really hope we all spend all of our days making Scott proud and carrying on his legacy. Thank you, Owen.
Thank you. And yeah, we're going to carry it forward. We're going to carry on from here. Earlier someone said it was about deciding rather than wanting, and I think that's something that we need to do right now is just decide we're going to keep this moving and we're going to carry forward Scott's legacy. I'm going to keep posting stories. I'm going to keep doing my after party spaces, and so we'll get together again on Saturday and probably talk more like this. I know it's a school night, so we'll call it a close after this, but I'm glad we could all get together. And I do want to stay connected with everybody, so, follow everybody here and let's all stay connected. And I think it's just up to us to carry this forward. So, thanks everyone. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. All right, we'll call it close here. Thanks, and again, I'll have an after party spaces on Saturday. Maybe in the meantime, I don't know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, but maybe there'll be a show time stream and people who want to can talk there.
As her, you understand her, but I understand the emotion, pero wag niyo siyang itin masyado. Huwag siyang
CDC website, but I'm about to tell you. In the year 19... '60s. Weaknesses and evils incident to society in every shade. Is it not time to awake from the deceitful dream of a golden age and to adopt as a practical maxim for the direction of our political conduct that we, as well as the other inhabitants of the globe, are yet remote from the happy empire of perfect wisdom, perfect virtue. Let the point of extreme depression to which our national dignity and credit have sunk. Let the inconveniences felt everywhere from a lax and ill administration of government. Let the revolt of a part of the state of North Carolina, the late menacing disturbances in Pennsylvania, and the actual insurrections and rebellions in Massachusetts declare. I need to be free of those
exploiting our weaknesses, our likes and dislikes. I need to be free of those telling me what to do in order to attain my real fulfillment. If I suppress my sensual impulses and urges, I may do harm to my true fulfillment. I am a much more person. I can read whatever I wish, watch whatever kind of TV program or movies I wish. It doesn't affect me at all if I always say no to others in regard to sex or drugs or alcohol. I will never be accepted by others. I will never have any friends. I don't need confession. I haven't any graces. And besides, if I stay away more, there will be less danger of losing confessions. My prayers don't seem to be answered. Seem to be answered. So what is the use of praying? My conscience is the only guide I need. As long as I am at peace with my conscience, I need worry. Even if some of my acts and decisions are not always. When this sex rejection. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 11, 10, 9, 9. Hold, 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 let it go, 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 go. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 11, 10, 9, 9. Hold, 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 let it go, 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 go. Santa baby, my little Santa baby, Santa baby, my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds. 10, not 11, 10, 9. Hold, 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 hold. Let it go, 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 go. Because when once an efficient national government is established, the best men in the country will not only consent to serve, but also will generally be appointed to manage it. For although town or country or other contracted influence may place men in state assemblies or senates or courts of justice or executive then arrest them and make lawfare their punishment, then arrest the Democrat judge that dismissed their case in Article 15 and use a main jag to get justice. War.
Especially as it will have the widest field for choice. Never experienced the want of proper persons, which is not uncommon in some of the state's heads. It will result that the administration,
Arrest them.
the political
Make lawfare their
councils,
punishment.
and the
And
judicial
arrest the
decisions
Democrat
of the
judge
national
that dismissed their
government
case in Article
will be
15
more
and use a
wise,
main jag to
systematical,
get
and
justice.
judicious than those of individual states, and consequently more satisfactory with respect to other nations,
Huh?
as well as more safe with respect to us.
Whoa, freaking. The price of shawarma is way up. The king.
Whereas adjudications on the same points and questions in 13 states or in 3 or 4 confederacies will not always accord or be consistent, and that as well from the variety of independent courts and judges appointed by different and independent governments as from the different local laws and interests which may affect and influence the wisdom of the profession.
Speak up.
Such questions to the jurisdiction and judgment of courts appointed by and responsible only to one national government cannot be too much commanded, because the prospect of present loss or advantage may often tempt the
Fitzsimmons, in your opinion, should he remain president of the Teamsters?
Absolutely not. Frank Fitzsimmons has sold his union out to his underworld pals. The mob controls it, which means it controls our pension fund. It's time for the rats to abandon ship.
Is he serious?
Not Jimmy, this is all publicity. He's running for office. He's putting on a show.
Yeah, it's all puff. It's no substance, nothing.
Maybe he means what he says. Tony, he's campaigning. I understand what you're saying.
You know what he should do, Russ? He should cash in that big pension of his. He should spend more time with his grandchildren. Yeah, maybe he should relax. Or he should get back to him.
So Frank Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, discipline doesn't...
A bottle of...
A man with no match with a look.
If you use this sound...
Madam President, I come to the floor today to condemn the heartbreaking and anti-American rise.
Hello, everybody. This is James Mennett running for Illinois Governor. I'm here with my partner and colleague running for Lieutenant Governor Robert Renteria. We're here at Law, Weapons, and Supply in Aurora. And Robert, why don't you tell about the event we're about to have here?
We're going to have a really big event on Thursday,
How can a court determine whether there's discrimination on the basis of sex without knowing what sex means for equal protection purposes?
I think here we just know that we know that that they've identified pursuant to their own statute. Lindsay qualifies as a birth sex male, and she's being excluded categorically from the women's teams as the
There's not a pill you can take. There's not a class you can go to. Stupid is forever.
So I'm using this good.
Yeah, look.
A man in a pointy hat.
Categorically from the women's team. Excluded cat.
Implants from Aspen Dental use the latest technology for a comfortable fit.
Sir, we're being hailed by the Borg. On screen.
We have to change our rate.
Which arrangement is that?
These lawyers are taking my internal organs. $1 million for this trial. Melbourne and Herschel on the charges. And then they just decided we need audibility experts to testify you can't definitively state what people are saying on the government tapes. I could have been telling them that.
Yeah, but those guys, they got sound waves.
50 grand. Who's in charge?
What stays the same?
My legal taught me to let you go strutting around like a couple of age. 10 years now.
There you go.
10 months.
I got cash flow problems of my own.
One time you had 50, 75 grand in audibility expert.
I got 2 kids in private schools.
God. Damn it.
Get your cube running right. That's what you should be focused on.
Which brings up the question of how do we help Junior once we get there?
And then Junior may not need us anymore.
Sir, is the appellation Junior to be the life form's official name?
Jesus Christ. I've been busting my pig all day long, and I thought maybe I could have a Sunday and zone out in front of the friggin' TV.
I was with your dad down at the Copper. Jerry Vale started singing and I look over. Your Uncle June's got a laser beam shooting out his eyes.
I just want to say that. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I was saying, we just think that he should maybe enjoy his grandchildren, enjoy his pension, enjoy his life as is.
Go no further, Frank. Who said it? Was it Russell? No. Of course it's not Russell.
Tony,
Where's Tony?
Salerno.
Well, what can I say?
Jimmy, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to tell you something.
I know you are. Frank, don't even think about it. That's who I am, that's what I am, and that's what I'm gonna do.
He said that. Well, before he says something like that, he should remember that Joe Gallo liked to make a lot of fucking noise too.
Who? That Tony. He said that?
Yes.
Oh, that's it. That does it. I'm never gonna retire now.
Jimmy, I did tell him. I told him over and over and
No,
over.
you told him. Let's stop this then. Forget it. Enough.
Hey,
Sometimes at church, sometimes
If you use this sound, a big YouTube.
You know, a concept I can drop this on you. The reason that no one that's on that fringe left or most left this period don't want to define what a woman is because women are the ultimate protected class in America. And if you define what they are, then you're defining what they're not, and those people aren't safe. But if you truly want all people to be safe from self-accountability, from the real world and all the other things that anybody else would have to deal with, you you don't want to cut anybody out of this safety net that keeps you impervious to accountability, impervious to the real world. So that's why they won't define it, because if you need protection, just say you're a woman. If you're a trans man and you need protection, say you're a woman. If you and then there's women adjacent things like migrants. Oh, migrants, they need just as much protection as women. Queers need just as much protection as women. That's why they don't want a definition to really anything, because a definition would define who's safe and it would define who's not.
One could submit or could play the devil's advocate and say, well, that's all sides. That's really more or less a strategy to cast the widest net to make it, because essentially the logical game puzzle that's happening there is you're forcing someone to make. You don't want to make it to create an absolute, because you just gotta keep it open ended. If you keep something open ended, it's impossible to prove or disprove it. That's anybody can do that. We do that on the macro level and on the micro level. That's how you control the narrative. It's just kind of like statistics.
Do you know what is completely and clearly defined and is always vilified? White men, and it's on purpose. It's on purpose because the whole point is to break the current power structure and redistribute power, wealth, influence, etc. And the only people you clearly want to take that away from is white men. But I don't think that's going to play out how people really think it should play out.
What lens are you speaking?
Hold on. Wait, that don't make no sense too. Do you understand how hypocritical that is? Because the damn liberals, the Democrats all together, there's a bunch of white men over there. So what the fuck they be saying that for? It doesn't make sense.
So it's called, I got to answer, the quick answer for him is literally not even a whole sentence. It's called suicidal empathy. The men who vote against their own, almost all men universally agree that child courts and family courts are prejudiced against men. But men are the ones who create the laws. It's called suicidal empathy. We're so empathetic. Well, liberal men and women are so empathetic to people who hate them, so empathetic to people who are using and abusing them, so empathetic and so afraid to be wrong and afraid to be vilified that they will have suicidal empathy.
Son of a bitch. I thought we took care of it. He goes, once Fritz is out and he's in, he's gonna call in the old loans, hotels, casinos, real estate, no matter what it is. So he's running them over. Can't have that. You sure he said that, Tony? He said that. You don't need money, do you? It's not about money. Well, if it's not about money, then I'm really having trouble understanding, because I don't know what all the talk is about. It's my union. And you could step down and still run. No, you don't step down. What do you mean? You don't step down and run a union. Well, listen, some people, not me, they think that you might. I might. You might be demonstrating a failure to show appreciation. I'm not showing appreciation.
That don't make sense right there.
It's not me.
You know something
According to some people.
No, it's not you. Some people.
I'm trying to help you, Jim. I know you, but nobody threatens off.
Let them plan. Let them gather. Let them dig.
My favorite thing to do right now is to stalk people who use my audios.
Peace, welcome to the room, brother.
What I was saying, hold on. This is what I was saying about MLK. I'm gonna finish what I was saying. The man that like liberals, Malcolm X that like liberals, and when they met for the first time, back in 62 or 63, before 2 years after Malcolm X died, 65, when they met, they actually agreed on everything. The reason Malcolm X loved the brother Martin Luther King after not before I had the dream speech, but after I had the dream speech, because he actually went back and forth, I didn't think he had that many people around him with guns. That's what Malcolm X said about Martin Luther King. So for that man right there to say, oh, he's a liberal, he was helping. No, that man, bro, Kenny lying his ass off right now. And I don't know why. Right now.
Daryl. Hey, about the video on top.
No, I get it, bro. I just gotta ask the question.
No, hold on, bro. Let me finish. You just said, hold on, let me finish, man. No, bro, let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
For or against content? For or against? For or against?
Bro, let me finish.
Hold on, fam. I'm gonna go prepare my argument because of the content so we can debate. Am I for or against? Which side am I taking? Which side are you taking content?
Bro, watch the video and just let me know your opinion.
Bro, I'm gonna make an argument and prepare and smoke you, bro.
You just let me know, bro.
I'll take 4. Take against. Okay?
Okay, you take 4, I'll take against. Go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna smoke your ass on your thing. Bro. Watch. I'll be back.
Wow.
It's sad, bro. I got some. Big was making some sense, but Big also he was getting mad at everybody going back and forth, but they want to call me out with pretty good. I'm mad that he disappeared. That don't make no sense how people will come up on this stage. You can't just define it on it. Y'all pay attention when these people were saying when they was in Congress, sitting there in them chairs talking all the time. They asked every Democrat the same question. But y'all keep saying it's some. No, it's all of them. And Crosby even said, I don't know what a woman is, but I know I'm that woman. I was like, I swore she was about to say the B word.
Hold on,
Jasmine Curtis.
said that
Yes.
she don't know what a woman is?
Yeah, she danced over it. She danced over it. But she just put herself in it. She danced over it like, I don't know, but I know that I'm that woman. I'm talking about myself. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, she didn't even answer the question straight up. And the man said, all right, he let somebody else answer it. It was going back and forth. And that's what I'm saying. That's all that's up there.
It's a video up top of these liberal white women who are now showing up to protest with their babies in their arms, infant children, and they jumping in front of ICE vehicles protesting ICE with their babies out there, and they doing this shit in the cold. These bitches is mentally unstable, right? They need to go to jail for child endangerment, but like they basically trying to force ICE hand to do stuff, but they willing to put their babies at risk. You get what I'm saying? That's what this room is about.
Go ahead. I put it in the comments. In the comments, I said yes, white women are all liberals, and not just the white women. It's all of them.
Now you see me? Now you don't. Did you see me? No, I'm 4 kids, so this is my magic trick. Now you see me? Now you don't.
Let's go
too much shit.
3
dead, 8 wounded, 4 of them critical. Doctor, I need every able-bodied crewman at their post. Anybody there is 7 wounded and I have to survive. Senior supports Captain. Mission has begun destroying Cardassian cities. Millions of people are dying.
Captain, we're approaching the Dominion defense perimeter.
Let's see what they have waiting for us. On screen.
We'll launch a 3-pronged attack. The Romulans and our new Cardassian allies will engage the Jemadar forces. Klingons will target the Breen. The Federation will take on the orbital weapon platforms. Any questions? All right, here we go. As soon as everyone's in position. Perhaps we should consider finding a safer location.
I just read
Hey, Drew. Well, I go in this bitch girl and get your ass sent right to the bottom of my dead buddy.
Pleasure's all mine.
The Federation fleet is surrounding the planet.
I'm going to contact the General and order their ships to stand down.
And you'll put the troops in Cardassian to do the same.
I learned to know such thing. Damar's dead today. What a man. He died trying to free Cardassian.
That's the TikTok he edited shit. Yo, they be trying to force their voice on the thing.
Say that.
He's walking full babe.
I think you'll find that neither the Jebediah or the Breed would agree with that assessment.
You talking about that song she just made?
Listen to this. You may win this war, Commander, but I promise you, when it is over, you will have lost so many ships and so many lives that your victory will taste as bitter as defeat.
She just told Jenna like he's fucking a 16-year-old. That nigga's a kid.
Jenna can't fuck with G Raven though.
I'm afraid I can't with you. My disease prevents me from changing form. If we link, I believe I can cure you. That's a very bad idea, Constable. Please, take my hand. And if you kill me, all I ask is that you link with me. I mean, you will know, Grace.
You want what? What the fuck that's that?
Put down your weapon.
I don't think so.
Why don't you just get on?
Said put it down.
That bitch said she don't rap. What the fuck I do? I didn't tell you.
If you will stand aside, I'll order the Jebediah to cease fire. I suggest we secure her in the containment field.
Don't worry, Doc.
She won't try to escape.
She's agreed to stand trial and accept responsibility for what she's done.
Jamie, he told me. He means what he's saying.
I mean what I'm saying. You can't see me get that dress fat fucking Sicilian head, Kenny. They should be concerned. They are. Concern. There's widespread concern. It's a big problem. It's what it is. What it is. It's what it is. They wouldn't dare. Please, Frank, come on. No, and they know it because I got files. I got records, I got tapes. Anytime I want, they'll be gone. They know what you're saying is what they're concerned. What I'm saying is I know things. I know things. They don't know I know. That's absolute right. It's the bottom line. Bottom line. It's what it is. They do something to me, and I do something to them.
Guys, why is no one supporting the new creators?
God has a message.
You said what, Mari?
course you couldn't miss it, bro.
Hey, you ain't no money in the middle, money. You don't have to pick the side. Pick the side. Down the middle. Little wise.
What did you tell G-Lo to do when he first said fuck one? What did you say?
Bro, all I said, but irritate. He said,
No, you told G-Lo, you said
Oh, you middle. Man, like gonna have to pick the side so you get your shit bust.
that ain't what happened. I told you,
You heard he pick the side and get your shit bust.
Hey, he was just ready to die behind Lil Quan, man.
Oh God, he was.
On my kids, on my brother grave, he was just ready to die behind Lil Quan.
Hey, you being stop 6, Lil Chucky? Hey, Chucky, you being stop 6, bro?
Can't do
My niggas not trying to answer.
Hey, what you say?
You being stop 6, bro?
Yeah, I go over here.
Bro, great. I'm gonna be out there, bro.
Come right now.
You ain't the lucky right now, bro. But when I come out there, I'm meeting you in stop 6, bro. You can get it on. Hey, meet at the berry store, nigga. Meet at the berry store, nigga.
You know what's so crazy? I just told earlier, I still feel some type of way about us speaking down on bro. I told you, I still feel some type of way about you speaking down on bro.
Hey, Anna. He ain't trying to meet at the berry store house, did he?
Yeah, he spoke okay.
Hey, y'all spoke on my peoples.
First off, I don't even know who that is in a bitch. Who I Doug Rick from? Get off my dick.
Spoke on my
Little ass boy. Who I suck
That's a Quan though, bro. That's why we.
Nah, G-Lo, even before that.
Bro, you dead wrong, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You
Man, all that playing, bro. You gonna have to pick a side, bro.
You know damn well,
bro.
man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You playing game, cuz.
You know damn well, Marshawn.
I don't know, but they on my dick like they don't give a stop saying my name.
Hey,
they just said Marshawn go
It's Talia.
Hey, somebody just said Marshawn go get big time.
Who is Bendit Bucks? Because he invited them.
Fuck Marshawn. I'm killing dude when he get out.
Bro.
If he ever get out.
Marshawn go beg you next
Hey, he coming home, though. That dick sucking ain't gonna get you no.
Hey, Bendit Bucks, Marshawn go beg you next.
He just said, fuck his man.
Man, Marshawn down off the man.
Yeah, smack.
You ain't like that for real.
He said, fuck Maurice, cool nigga on the team.
What, bro? What the fuck? I never said that.
Fuck Maurice.
Hey,
Tell my nigga Lil Girl, you said that.
Yeah, R.I.P. Marshawn, nigga, free Maurice, nigga. R.I.P. Marshawn, free Maurice, nigga. Oh my baby, R.I.P. Marshawn, free Maurice, nigga. Free Maurice, R.I.P. Marshawn, nigga.
On my kids, Maurice, love they Marshawn, nigga.
R.I.P. Marshawn, man, free Maurice, nigga. R.I.P. Marshawn, free Maurice, that's bullshit.
Hey, y'all little niggas.
Oh my baby, R.I.P. Marshawn, free Maurice, nigga.
Hey, all y'all damn homies.
R.I.P. Marshawn, free Maurice.
Bro, who's this baby nigga you are? Where this man come from?
That guy Maurice life, I ain't gonna free Maurice.
There are politicians in Canada than there are in the U.S. system.
So, I mean, all of the things that you're saying, I'm not saying that those things are not useful. What I'm saying is that we just have to change the structure for which we make those decisions. Because when we do the voting, even when you do a voting, right, like we've been fooled into believing that our representatives are someone who represent what is it called? Blank without representation. What is it called? No representation.
Without representation. Boston Tea Party, the whole reason you guys made yourself the country.
Okay. Wait, what was the phrase? No, what?
Taxation without representation. No taxation.
Okay. Sorry, I'm such an idiot. Okay, no taxation without representation. So this is the thing. So our representatives, though, the issue is that we are not personally, like you and me, we're not consenting to them, right? Unless they're not really our representatives, and they can't possibly be our representatives unless we personally sit down and we authorize them individually. You don't become someone's agent just because a crowd voted for you. A vote isn't it's not a contract. It's not written consent. It's not even proof of approval. Often it's just the least bad option under the threat of being ruled either way. Most people we turn out, we vote, it doesn't matter, it's not going to make a difference, right? And say like, well, if you don't like it, change who you're voting for, vote, campaign harder. And the problem is just, I've lived long enough to see that there are strongholds in this country. There's good chances you'll never be able to change that. But the point is that ultimately you're not giving direct consent. So that's what we want. That's what we want to change. We want everybody to be able to actually authorize these things personally and put their productive ability where they want to, where they choose to, because that's what true freedom is.
Yeah, I think in today's day and age, when we can have absolutely fair, America's Got Talents votes, Eurovision votes that are, across many cities that are, legitimate and fair and not cheated, you'd think we'd be able to have a greater participation in all of our democracies using technology. Excuse me. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Liquid Lala? What's up,
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Wearing Ducky. Yeah, go ahead, Ducky. Sorry, Liquid. Go ahead.
No, I think this is it's an interesting conversation from both ends. What's up, Ducky? I didn't even saw you down there.
So when it comes to taxation, guys, listen, this is where it gets messy, right? I personally am an individualistic advocate. I acknowledge that I will never, no matter what nation I am in, have any real influence on the laws that bind me, the reality that surrounds me. My only option is A, choose the country I live in, to whatever degree I can choose that with my privilege. And then second, I will do whatever the fuck I want based on all of the realities around me. Meaning, throughout my entire life, I chose to break some laws constantly. I chose not to. Other laws, right? I chose to pay some taxes. I chose not to. Well, there's no law against that. There should be. There should be. Wash your legs, you demons. But what I'm saying is this, right? Is that knowing that you're an individualistic anarchist, right? Knowing that you're going to pay some taxes. If you're a wealthy nation, I think I'm cool with those taxes going towards making other people in your country have a better opportunity and more successful than their previous generation. What I take offense with is, and I don't think a lot of Americans know this, about 20% of your taxes goes to pay interest on your credit card debt. I mean your national debt, but let's call it credit card debt.
SEC, the market makers, Wall Street, the broker dealers got together and said, oh.
I think we are 100% on the same page. I'm just like, what you're saying is triggering me to think about some nuanced stuff about like, hey, that's a very good point. Like if we got to pick where our taxes went, I don't think a lot of Americans would say, I want to voluntarily pay off the massive credit card debt that a bunch of billionaires accumulated. I don't want to pay.
You don't necessarily need to be that.
I think.
I'm with the U.S. White House TV pool. I'm wondering, are you being briefed on option? I'm with CNN, sir.
You said with CNN. She says I'm with the White.
Do you think he's doing a good job, just in general? Do you think he's doing a better job than Joe Biden did?
Yes.
most of the other people in the room are American.
Seller impersonation fraud is on the rise. Fraudsters are targeting vacant and absentee-owned properties, posing as the owners to cash out with the proceeds.
It is 1 to 10, for sure.
It is on both the population and the number of gun deaths on a per capita basis, and it's so sad. I'm sorry for bringing that up.
I feel safely said this is an American.
Do not fall for
Thank you guys very much.
Before you go,
Yes.
you know, like, so your take on what's happening in the protests and shooting and just because it could have to be.
Well, it has happened here. We have had people ram their cars at our officers. I don't know where people got the notion that if you disagree with our immigration laws, it is okay to oppose federal law enforcement. It is not okay. It is illegal.
The federal government being forced to pay Black Americans who are descendants of Jim Crow policy or U.S. segregationist policy for 100 years since 1885 all the way up to
Are we being attacked?
almost 1970.
My personal opinion, yes.
And the
By
immense
whom?
amount of wealth that
Russia.
was taken out of
Greg Ed Green ran the investigation for the Defense Intelligence.
discriminatory policy.
Great question. So, how I feel about that, like reparations and things of that nature, right?
I think everyone. It's shampoo.
Yes.
Is she serving the?
For 1 year, need to go through what their ancestors went through. Once you go through 1 year, once you go through 1 year of dealing through what your ancestors went through, then you can get the reparations that you deserve.
I am not cool with that. I just want to know, are you allowing white folks to use
So
nigger?
I can.
I can't hear it.
Just for clarity, guys, a quick reason.
Black is black.
I do not use the N-word. I'm a white guy. I don't think it's appropriate for white people to use that. I also don't think.
Hello?
And Kevin, I'm trying to say, but also, I think white men have been telling black people what they can and cannot say for way too long. So if a black person wants to tell another black person to use the N-word, hell no, I'm not walking in like some DiCaprio, with my whip out. Hell no.
No, it's your room. You can decide what you want to hear or not in your room, regardless of what that is. I didn't know where white women
Hell no. Hell no. I'm not going to go to the cookout and start saying, oh, you can say the N-word, but you
Point
can't
of order, moderator, point of order, moderator, point of order. Jeremy just comes here to talk to minorities, Reverend. You didn't know that Jeremy likes to come here and talk to minorities like you because he's a privileged white Canadian? Hello?
Honest. I basically told her, and men need to start doing this. Like, I'm not here to save you, shorty. You out your league. So anything that I do for you right now, any experience that you have for me, with me, you should be grateful because you're going back to the projects after this. How dare you tell me what your requirements are? What are you talking about? I'm saying you wrote here in my M3. Like, what are we talking about? I could gladly leave you by the bus when we leave. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Simmer down and humble yourself. But niggas aren't that honest. They try to appease these women because they look good. And these women really don't be bringing shit outside they look sometimes. That's the men's fault. Because you're supposed to be leaders. You know what I mean? Sometimes these women need to be humbled. This is why a chick think, I ain't got shit else but some coochie and a pretty face. I deserve a virgin.
And black people would end up where they are because what happened was when it was time to pay the Japanese when they were interned, nobody said, well, it's nice to pay back these Japanese people who were discriminated against and locked up against their will and unconstitutionally put in bondage, et cetera, et cetera. But it would be nice if we gave money to every American and lifted them up out of poverty. But they didn't do that. They wrote a check to those families. Same thing with the Americans. And they took land like lives, in various, with regards to various nation tribes, and those nation tribes came to them and said,
I
hey,
understand
we
where
want
people are coming from,
compensation.
like calling to the broke, because
Said,
it's not even just the broke, like financially.
we're gonna pay you X, Y,
It's like
and
this
Z.
mindset where
They
like
did not look,
automatically when you imagine,
you know, from the beyond and into the ghettos of the inner cities and say, well, you know, it would be nice if we could just spread that around and make sure that everybody is paid. Nope, they cut checks to those Native Americans and those Native American owned. Same deal when New York did for Jewish people who were victims of the Holocaust after the war. They did not spread it around. It was for those families. So America has precedents of paying wrongful folks, paying the people who are wronged by it. I would hate that if I get into a car accident on my block, that everybody, my neighbor, every single neighbor, I have to split the money to get my car fixed with every neighbor on my car that has the same color, make, and model. Just because. Like, it doesn't seem fair.
Yeah. Can I say something, Reverend? Because here's maybe the nuance, and this is where I struggle a bit, right? Is that those Japanese, for the overwhelming majority, the people who suffered the indignity were paid those reparations. For the overwhelming majority, right?
But those that weren't alive, but those that weren't alive, they weren't alive. Their money went to their trust. Right?
True, but ma'am, you agree with me that the overwhelming majority of the people who received those reparations were alive, or were the immediate descendant of the person?
As are the people who went to Jim Crow. Right? That was in the 1970s. Did you know that?
I agree. But
my grandmother was 97. She's still alive.
Yes, ma'am.
And you better believe she's born in Colored Hospital.
Yes, ma'am. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, listen, if you said, Jeremy, do you believe that 40 acres and a mule was appropriate? I would have said, hell no, it wasn't appropriate. It should have been a hell of a lot more. And it should not have been overturned. It should have been upheld. And it should have been paid out disproportionately, like every single descendant, because it was a legal document. The shitty thing is that the white people went and reneged on that and reversed it, right? And so what we have is that if you have to...
It's due.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess here's where I struggle. Well, here's where I'm struggling, right? Is that in these reparation cases, it's not the people who are 10 generations removed who are out there saying, hey, and this is where it's hard, because they do continue to be the victim of that system.
Immediately after slavery, Jim Crow was instituted for 100 years to continue the damage.
Let him land real quick.
No, it's true. No, it's true.
Stop being nice, Jeremy.
No, I'm not trying to be nice. I'm trying to appreciate the nuance of this conversation, and this is what people don't like is the messy nuance of like saying, hey, there continues to be a rippling effect of generational poverty because of slavery in America, and we see it all over the place in the negative impacts. But there's also a whole bunch of negative impacts of a whole bunch of shitty policies, not as bad as slavery, but the results in a lot of fucking meth head crackers in trailer parks who have almost the same horrible chance of being successful as a black person born into poverty. Right? And so, again, if you say, Jeremy, what's best, and Reverend, if you say what's best for black people, reparations or social programs, I'd probably say reparations. But if you say what's best for all of America, I would say lift everyone out of poverty.
I don't see reparations can't include social programs. I mean, those things have to be funded, right? So, your schools are funded with property taxes, right? So, and that was deliberately done to fuck black people up. You reversing something like that would help a lot of black people who live in poor neighborhoods, right? It would benefit them immensely, not linking, because black people were redlined out of homes, right? And so if you're redlined out of the home, then you can't pay taxes for home ownership, and therefore the schools that are around this neighborhood in which the homes are rented out instead of owned are really shitty, right? And so that could be some kind of program. Is he gone?
No, he's still not.
I'm just trying to. I've been
Keep cooking. Keep going.
I'm trying to mute up and stop taking my.
Real quick.
No, asking now. And so, that's one way that would be corrected, and it would be, in a direct cash payment way, if that's what you're referring to. But it definitely should include cash payments. But I say that, not because Black people are special, but just because you did it for other Americans when they were wrong. There's a precedent. I mean, it makes no sense to pay the Japanese and to pay the natives and to pay the Jews, and we get around to these folks. It's not, even though field order, whatever, field order 33 or whatever it was,
just too, when people teaming up now. No, I don't think it's just, people with money get married too.
PTR?
I don't think it's just for broke people. I think it's more beneficial.
And you said in the other room that you be lying,
get
bro.
married. I think it is, because y'all both struggling. At the very least, if y'all can get along with each other, y'all won't be struggling as much because you have two incomes instead of one. So, I don't think marriage is just for broke people. I think that it is a strategy for broke people to not be broke anymore.
I think marriage for people is just for two people that love each other and they know that is the proper way to carry on a relationship. Marriage has nothing to do with economics at all. I don't even get that. That's just so people can express their love and their dedication towards each other.
Oh, just line.
I think that I agree with resistance, but only in the sense of that's what marriage is supposed to be. But I think that because we have people that are moved by money and people don't have their own resources, like I said in the chat, I feel like money is an energy thing. Like, people that use people for their resources are getting to relationships strictly for transactional, or people that can't obtain their own resources or don't have that gift to be able to do that. So, I don't know. I agree with what he was saying. That's what marriage should be. But you have relationships where people are killing each other for insurance policy. So, clearly, marriage isn't just for love. It's definitely financial as well, unfortunately.
That's more of a westernized thing. They don't have those issues in other countries.
I was gonna ask you.
Well, most of us have never been outside the United States, so.
Yeah, also when we're talking about American issues.
I'm just gonna ask you with that. So, do you think they correlate though?
Do I think what correlates?
Marriage and money.
I think it correlates depending on how you want it to correlate. Like, we live in a society where we need money, so it has to make sense. Literally, you get what I'm saying? So, but again, I do feel like it's more of a spiritual thing than anything. Like you spoke earlier, you were like, you can make all this money and you mismanage it because you're poor mentally. So I feel like people just need to focus on being whole and being healed before they get with other people, so they won't be too fucked up people. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship, I don't think that the marriage is what's making people broke. I think that it's people that are broken people getting with other broken people, if that makes sense.
Okay. Because I also seen, I don't know if you guys ever seen it. I've seen it on both sides actually, in real time. One of them was a sibling, but there are people who can also try to, or you could say break other people too. Where like guys say that a woman took them to the cleaners, but there's also women who've married men who've actually taken them out financially as well. So I just find that that's a thing where I know a lot of people might not experience that or say it's not truth or whatever, but it does happen. There are women who's literally been the breadwinner at some point. Their man gets to say something happens where like they actually have to do that too. So I feel like that's a big deal in those type of situations, because a lot of people we talk about it, but like those are real things. When people actually get hurt, when people actually get sick, when people actually like those things actually happen more often. Correct. Especially even with cancer. So a lot of times, like I had to learn, especially from some of my my siblings as examples, but I always use them because they're right here in front of me. But like savings accounts. Like that was a really big deal. Like they literally saved. Like they're putting money away, and now they're able to stay home for the first year of their
first baby's life together, her and her husband.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that can happen, and even if you're not married now, you can still have a savings account as a single human being. So that's something I learned where like talking to other men and talking to different people as having one, even if you're only putting a few dollars away every month, it still adds up instead of having nothing at all.
And it's better that way because you know that you can date for what you actually want instead of dating for an opportunity. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like if you're broke, you should be dating in the first place. But I mean, I guess that's just me. I don't know. As a woman, a black woman, I don't want to be in a man's face if I don't have any of my own money. That's just pineapples. I just feel like that's just, what are you doing? I guess, I don't know.
I definitely agree with that.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Hey, so I kind of, my phone died, and I think the young lady was, I'm just going to say this. I wasn't trying to be controversial or anything.
Child, we've been moved past you.
I just think that's rude. See, that's the part that you guys don't understand. That
Jay, we understand. We understand.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't. I understand that. Whoever's saying Jay, you're right. But we have to let them know when you speak out of turn, after giving respect, when you're speaking, you have to be fair in that. Gotcha. And once you go to a certain level of that, where you think you just keep speaking out of turn, the game's gonna be played with you.
Gotcha. Hey Jay, quick question. What would you like to say to the topic?
Well, I mean, I've been fluttered because I've been uninterrupted. So all I was saying.
Fluttered? Motherfuckers fluttered. Motherfuckers fluttered.
Make sure we understood that the amount of money that someone makes has nothing to do with millionaires that are paycheck to paycheck. It's thousandaires that are paycheck to paycheck. They're damn people who don't make that. So it's a mindset.
Gotcha.
That's all I was saying.
Beautiful. I appreciate that, brother. Go ahead, Laluna.
I'm gonna ask Jody. I think it was Jody or you missed. I don't know what woman. I'm guessing a few of the women could answer. So with that mindset, though, guys, I have a question. So if you are a woman that does have that mindset, like you don't want to be broke dating, or you don't want to be like, I don't. There's some women who would love to have the man that has 5 times, 6 times income than them. I don't know which women are which on stage, but like if you don't have the same, right? And it's kind of crazy because I've learned over time, like there are people who, if you carry yourself a certain way and you're in certain environments, even if you don't make the same type of money, it seems like more men, like there's men that still, even if you say, no, I'm going to be single, I want to be alone right now, I want to focus on making this accomplishment or doing this, they're still attracted to you.
An energy, correct.
So, okay, that's something that anyone, even if you are making 6 figures already, there could be someone who's out making more. So I feel like there's some people who, like, regardless if you were trying to, I'm just curious, like, are you guys in the headspace where, like, say you're making the 6 figures, but hey, there's a guy who makes 3 times as much. Are you going to tell them no because you feel like you don't make as much as him, or are you going to, like, feel it out?
No, because I'm not broke. If you're making 6 figures, you're not broke. That's different. Like, that's one thing my mom always taught me. Like, you don't go on a date with no fucking money, right? Like, this being broke is not advantageous to do while dating. You making 6 figures, somebody making 5 times as much as you, it really don't matter because you're not broke. Like, so, I mean,
I know people say about the Danielle, that's why I was asking. Some people think that, like, if you're not making the exact same or more, it sometimes that's broke to them. So that's why I was asking.
Well, see, that doesn't make sense to me because money is I feel like it's constantly evolves. Like, is anybody really that stagnant to where they're making the same amount to where you're actually comparing like your tax brackets and. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hello! Keeping up with the Jones Show!
I feel like that's an argument for people that make $50,000 or less, if I'm being honest.
Damn! She Asian got flexing!
Those people that's making these are really talking about money as much, if I'm being honest. So, I feel like the broker you are, the more you talk about money. Because the men be like, once I establish, okay, you got a good job, I got a good job. We never really talked about money after that. Like, there's no need to. Because we're not combining funds until we get to that point. So, outside of me knowing that you got a good job, it ain't really too much for me to be knowing. Like, people that have the money don't really talk about it.
Okay, they're in the same headspace. I was curious because I really hear it on Clubhouse.
ever saw that in certain rooms we've been in together. And I'm always wondering how you guys know that you guys are in the same, like you guys are in the same arena. Whether you both make six figures or you both make, less 80,000, 50,000, people are in the same arena calling each other the same thing. So
Correct. Sitting near each other. It doesn't make any sense.
I was just gonna add in that, like, essentially this conversation that we do here on Clubhouse, a lot of these are like manufactured conversations, and it shows because this isn't how people talk to one another, right? Like, it's just not the way people talk to one another. And if you are in a position where you don't have a lot of money, because we have a number of things that could cause that to happen. One major health crisis can take a person who's doing like upper middle class right down to nothing, right into bankruptcy. So I think that, like, we have to be honest that, like, there are a number of mitigating factors that can cause, like, changing finances. And I think that several of you have already brought that up, right? But I think that, like, we can't be looking at ourselves or our partners, right, as, like, Johns and Tricks, right? Like, we're not Johns, we're not Tricks, we're not, like, that doesn't happen. So, like, evaluating people on their value in a way is in itself a very degrading thing, and that is what keeps people in, like, a struggling position within their marriages, because now you're trying to fit into what you think you have been bought for, and, like, how you are now displeased. Do you know what I mean? Like, it creates this really weird dynamic amongst people. But yeah, I think that, like, generally, if we're open and honest about what our finances look like, if we're open and honest about what our feelings look like, if we can have better conversations with one another, we have a lot that we can build in a relationship, and we can build a lot within each other's families. We build supportive networks, we build communities, but you only do that with, like, somebody that you can actually believe is trustworthy. And so I think that is the thing that's, like, the most valuable thing. And if you find somebody who you can trust and you're both kind of, like, in a rough spot at that time, and you can trust that you can just trust in each other, it's surprising what that can yield. I've witnessed it, so I would say that it's been amazing to see, like, people who come from nothing, have nothing, become something, and something that's affected things intergenerationally, you know? So I think it's totally possible. I just think that we have to communicate better and learn how to do that.
But I don't think, like, pretending like money doesn't matter is like conducive, right? Because it does. Like, all day, yeah, I want a guy with a good character, but let's be clear, like, if you work at 7, it's not gonna work for me. Like, it's not gonna work for me. So, I mean, I hear you to an extent, right? And like you said, if they're both in a not so great situation, I can understand that. But, like, pretending like money doesn't matter, right? If I live a certain lifestyle and you don't, right, it's going to be hard for you to maintain that. It's going to be hard for me to downgrade. So I think that pretending like it's not a thing is not a thing.
There needs to be balance. I think pretending that it's not a thing is kind of dangerous, and I also think that pretending that it's everything is dangerous as well. Like, you're going to learn a lesson either way.
I agree with that.
I think you're going to find yourself in a boundaryless relationship. I don't even know if that's a damn word. With someone that's just broken-minded. If, like, money's everything, you're going to be with someone that's has everything that you could want financially. I'm talking millions of dollars, and
like a day, and you're getting dragged through the hotel.
Correct. Well, I'm not. Well, yeah, that. But I have a cousin that's with someone, and he's basically a millionaire, like literally a millionaire, and she's just not happy. Like, he's very cold. He's not He doesn't compliment her enough. There are the things that she's complaining about are basic free things that he could just be doing, and he's just not. But he works, and he's a provider, and he's a great father, and all of the things, but you never know how important the emotional is, or how important you need a balance in a relationship until you think you get everything that you want, because on paper, he's everything that a woman would want. Blue collar man, own business, millions of dollars. They just closed on a $200,000 land contract. They just bought acres, and it feels like, I don't know, like they're roommates or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to be in that? So I think you just gotta pick your poison and know that it's balance. And I don't know, y'all just need to just be alone too. Like, your whole universe or your whole life doesn't need to be revolved around romantic connections with other people. Like, it's literally okay to be alone. I think people need to learn how to be alone.
Or build your connections with other people too, right, Miss? Like,
yes.
If you have a strong, like, my strong, like, friends group or my strong, like, family situation always puts me in a position where I seem very valuable to, like, anyone I'm potentially dating. And everyone that I've potentially dated has been in a different kind of position when they come to me too, because they know other people know me, they know I'm valued, you know, in it's a weird thing to fuck around with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Basically, there's like, I agree with you. You don't want to like forget about money at all. I think that that's why we should be like having well-balanced kind of conversations, well-balanced kind of interactions with people. Because if we don't, we end up being in this space where like the conversation's not making sense. We heard it earlier. When you just let people go off the rails in one direction, we don't even know what anyone is talking about anymore. And so you have to slow it down, and you have to be able to recognize that, like, you know, that something's not connecting, people aren't connecting to, like, you know, you're not connecting to people that you're meeting maybe online, because dating online is what a lot of people have turned to, right? I think that in itself is a very disjointed way of meeting people, because you don't actually know that person. They are just a fucking webpage. You know, like, you don't know what his family life is like. You don't know what his siblings think of him. You don't know what his family thinks of him. And here's the thing, when you know those things, it makes a very different picture of who that person is. It doesn't really matter how many apps he's showing on what picture and holding what kind of fucking weird fish in his PTR. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I need to know how you actually get along with people, right? And you don't get to know that when you're meeting people online. So we're kind of in a really rough space, because that is primarily how people are meeting people. And I think that, like, I started dating really late in life because of, like, my family kind of, like, situation. But I think that if I was able to change something, or if I was to, like, have a daughter right now, or if I was, like, looking at my little cousins even, and, you know, when they're asking about, like, things that are going on, I really do encourage them to spend a lot of time, like, in university, meet people, join a club, talk to people. It's okay, you know, just, like, learn how to get along with people. Like, join a club, get to know your hobbies, get to know what they are.
Get to know yourself. Yes.
And when you do, and you know more about yourself, like, hey, on my thing during, like, my college years was that every Friday I taught, like, I'm South Asian, and so we had a language school that we were kind of running as a community, and so I would teach that, and then after that I would go pick up my brother and my sister, and we would go watch a movie. This was, like, our regular routine, and, like, everyone knew that, like, everyone that I interacted knew that, and so, like, you know, it was just this thing that people know you for, and it's like, it's good. People should know what you prioritize in your life, you know? and what you like. And then when somebody likes me and they show up to my like language school and want to be my assistant teacher, and I'm not quite getting like that they like me, I also can at least respect that they're trying to get to know me through my own, like, you know, specific things. And so what I was trying to say is let people get to know you from the things that you like, because they will be people that will be closer to having a relationship with you, because they want to get to know you through the things that you shine at.
Okay, real quick, ladies, sorry to get in the middle of y'all dialogue. I just want to see if any of the new speakers on the stage want to speak, or anybody that haven't spoke yet. Mr. Stoic, Trey Lee, Rel, JJ, Bonita. I don't know how to say your name, bro, the one that just joined. I don't want to even butcher it. So you got it. But yeah,
Nah, man, great room, brother. Just appreciate the space, you know. And I like the popcorn. I like the popcorn style, the title. Seems like it's gonna be some good, you know, discussions up in here, man. So happy to be a part of the room.
Oh, definitely keep rocking with us, bro. And I appreciate your support, bro. You've been here since the dead beginning. You was like one of the first people that joined. So I definitely appreciate you. Look like you enjoying the conversation. You haven't even said a word, bro. So you want to speak on the topic? I mean, it's open, bro.
No, I had got cut out, man. I was, you know, pretty much just kind of, you know, expressing that, you know, two broke people coming together. I know we always, when everybody hear the word broke, it always ties back to finances. But I know, and I was listening to Miss OG, it was like, you know, money is important, but it ain't that important. And it brought the quote of Zig Ziglar to me. Say, you know, money isn't that important. There with oxygen. So, but you know, with two broke people coming together, it's more than just the money, because it's two broken people that has, you know, traumas or challenges and tests that they done been through in their life from young to who they are now as an adult. And if they can find, you know, that right person and find that love, and they can, you know, bring that together, they can grow. But, you know, of course, we all are seeing it, what's happening in our society, where it's just about just the money, just about survival, just like a survival mindset versus a growth mindset. So to really look at this, of seeing people team up and really do it, I still believe it's possible that everybody can do it. I still believe there's love for everybody out here. I seen like a little joke on social media where all those 304 pound, you know, people that be overweight and overcoming that weight and to lose it, if you notice in that beginning of that process, all them be having wives and husbands. And it's like, it's too many good looking people out here that ain't that big, that got a little decent job, that can actually find somebody to love. But I like how Miss OG said it, get to learn yourself. You know what I'm saying? Really understand who you are. You know, start mingling and talking, but really to learn about yourself. So it's a lot of work that everybody has to do, man. And but I don't see nothing wrong with it. You can go from being 50 to 50. I think the young lady in the chat said 60K. Now y'all both at 120. If you manage it properly and be great stewards of it, y'all can go from 120 to being, you know, 12 million, 2 million, however far y'all want to go. So I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. People got to cut out a lot of high expectations, and it's a lot of, they might not even be at the level they need to be for the person that needs them, whoever comes along in their life for that love. So, but I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I ain't gonna take up the stage too much. I appreciate it, Omar.
What's up, man? What's the word? What's the word, Trey Lee, man? Thank you for joining, bro. As always a pleasure to see you too, bro. What you got?
I'm not gonna get too deep into the whole financial thing because your title is miswritten, and I don't want to get technical when it comes to that. So I really want to look at your poll. Like your poll was pretty interesting to me. I chose unrealistic expectations because it actually covers the other three, and I can show you. So first and foremost, people with unrealistic expectations, they will always request things that they themselves do not have because they think that the other person can give that to them. It's kind of like a meal ticket or a golden ticket, if you will. And this isn't gender specific, and it's not even specific with, experiences. It could be a bunch of things that they have unrealistic expectations for. And so my principle is that I don't ask for what I can't give. It's been stock and trade of my life for 18 years. And definitely, about my lady, man, you heard the stories and stuff. But one of the bedrocks of our foundation was that we didn't have crazy expectations for each other. We were very pragmatic and realistic. So we worked well together behind that. And a lot of people, when it comes to unresolved issues and debt, the debt, that can always be worked out. I focus more on the fact that if a person is going to have unrealistic expectations, they are definitely doing it based off of unresolved past, unresolved trauma. So, keeping that in mind, they begin to make their past issues the responsibility of the person that they're with. When in reality, that could be the furthest thing from the truth. However, if a person is willing to, be a spouse to somebody, then there's an opportunity for that person to teach them how to walk through it. Not necessarily hold their hand and, just be like, here, go this way. But I believe in giving my lady ways to be able to navigate certain things that she may deal with. Just like I know she's giving me things to be able to help deal with my own personal issues. So again, she's not responsible for that, neither am I. We want to see each other be able to conquer what ails us, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. Poor communication habits also falls under unrealistic expectations because you're giving something voice that you should not be giving, especially if you're not able to meet it. Like, why are you opening your mouth to tell somebody that they need to meet an expectation when you don't? And then have the audacity to be mad at them because they don't respect you for putting out expectations you can't meet. I don't respect a man or a woman who asks of me to meet an expectation that they can't. I'll never respect them for it. God got to split that sky open for me to make that happen. And I know he ain't in the business of doing that right now. So it's never going to happen. And finally, not fiscally responsible. There's a lot of people. Working at Verizon taught me the difference between poor people and broke people. Poor people just don't have it. They are in a state where everything that they have is on the low end of the spectrum. So it's just there. But broke people have it, but they do not understand or have the echelon of application, if you will, to be able to steward their money. And so when I worked at Verizon, I seen a lot of people that I seen a lot of them that were broken. I seen a lot of them that were poor. And that's one of the reasons why I said your title was kind of miswritten, because if you're wanting to use broke in this as an expansive title, try broken, because there are broken pieces that do come together to make a whole new item. But you gotta play enough games in order to know where that comes from. But two broken people teaming up, sure. One person covers the other's weaknesses, the other person augments the other's strength. But like I said, these are just some things that I've compiled over the last 18 years of my life. And like I said, a lot of it is playing out very smoothly in my relationship. And, Lord willing, me and my lady, we're going to be married in summer 2027. So, everything is good. She just got her ring size today. So she knows what size it is. I told her what it was going to be. I was shocked that I was it's going to be lit, man. We're already having those crazy conversations that most people wait till they married to have. So, we ain't trying to wait till it happens in order to make it work. That's the other thing. Should have had that as a poll too. people don't plan for marriage. Now, we can get into that later, though.
Hey man, Trey Lee, I really don't let people talk that long, but goddamn, bro, I couldn't stop you. First of all, I want to say I appreciate you for your intellect and your breakdown of the poll. I really do appreciate that more than you know. I think everybody on stage can attest for that. Like, shout out to you, bro, and definitely shout out to your engagement and your upcoming marriage, bro. Shout out to you for that. But yeah, man, my brother Rel's in the building right now too, man. Rel, you want to say anything on this title, bro?
What's going on, bro? No, I'm just listening right now.
All right, cool.
We love the people with actual results.
Yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, we have to. You're always trying to shoot a slug at somebody, man. Everybody gonna get results one day. I don't believe people.
I disagree.
Bro. Damn, Danielle. Bonita.
Some bloodlines gotta die, man. It's called natural selection. Sometimes it's got to be over for some bloodlines.
I feel you. Listen, I'm Mr. Middle Ground. I don't have no argument. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm trying to see if anybody else want to speak. Race, C, who that? JJ. Oh, that dude just left. But yeah, mic's open, y'all. Mic's open. It's late night. I really want to close this room, to be honest with y'all. We got 32 people in here. I really want to close this. So I guess we can go cafeteria style. Like, y'all just get off the mics. Y'all can just talk, have a good time. We probably gonna close it up here pretty soon. I might open up a fun room, like maybe a shoot your shot room, like later tonight, just to have some fun, do a grand opening for the new space. This is my new space. So thank you everybody for coming through and shit. But yeah, mics open, cafeteria style. Y'all get off the mics and talk, have fun.
What happened to your whole space?
We ain't gonna talk about nothing like that, bro. We gonna just focus on the future, bro. But yeah, let's definitely get into this cafeteria style.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think marriage has to be two broke people coming together. I think if you start off like, now people who married very young, that's probably how it was. You know what I mean? Like, they were both trying to figure it out. They got together at 19, 20. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? But once you like pass like 30 and you're like 35, 40, like, you should, like, at least be somewhat established by then. And I think, like, I don't think it's wrong to ask for someone to be established, especially if you're established yourself. So, you know, other than that, I don't think that's wrong. But I think if you meet at a very young age, then yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, man. Shit. I mean, the more when I got out of this old title, man, and I had the same opinion from the beginning. I think people already know my viewpoint. I think that poor people marry poor people, middle class people marry middle class people, and rich people marry rich people. It's very rare that we see it, you know, on the spectrum where poor is marrying rich, or we do see middle class marry rich or poor marry middle class, but you know, it's very rare that we see like the poor marry the rich. You know what I mean? So if we're just really looking at this title, I would say it's a trap title, really, because broke people are teaming up. I mean, that's the fact. I think I like what Trey Lee said too. You know what I'm saying? Broken people definitely are teaming up. Like it is what it is, bro. Like, but that's who that's who they're around. You're gonna attract who you're around. You're gonna attract who you attract tax bracket. That's just life as we know it. I mean, your partner probably normally making about you always said. You always say,
$55K, bro.
You niggas only making like $4,000-$6,000 more than us. That's how y'all make it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because they be trying to flex like they doing something spectacular. But I try to explain to people like, a $4,000 difference, y'all the same life, bro. Like, y'all live the same fucking life. If you made $4,000 more than somebody, like, come on. Like,
So, Matt, if you want to know something crazy, so, like I said, I wasn't gonna dig into it in the beginning, but as the son of a mother who's been in finance for 40 years, you know, you pick up a few tricks of trade, right? And finance math is actually one of my hidden specialties. I hate math in general, but when it comes to like finance math, I do balancing, your checkbook, making sure that you understand, like, how do you put a portion of stuff to your savings and shit like that. I've been doing this shit since I was like 13. Because mom always told me, she was like, baby, you gotta have something in your savings. And she always told me this, she said, baby, no matter what, ain't about what you make, it's what you keep. And I didn't understand it at first. I'll be honest with you. I'm like 15 years old when she gave me this little piece of advice. I'm like, cool. I get a little older and I get in college and I started seeing kids, there was a scholarship. I got $250 a month. Then I had a work study, which was paying like basically about $200 a month. And then of course I was writing papers for people for change, Now, writing papers, that was pocket change for me. But the work study and the stipend that I was getting for the scholarship that I had, that was a check. So my mom always was like, hey, put that in your savings. Save it up. And so she asked me when I came home for break. I said, hey mom, how my savings looking? She was like, it's looking good. And she asked me, she said, your classmates, they got the scholarship in the work study. How they be spending their money? And I didn't think about it at first. But then I told her, I was like, some of them buy stuff with it, whether it's like groceries or like, food, shoes and stuff like that. And so she said, pay attention to the second semester, see what they're doing. And I noticed that a lot of my classmates at ages like 18, 19, they had courses from management and they're having to basically go ask folks for money and shit. And I'm just like, it's kind of fucked up. But at the same time, I kind of had to have grace for them because I've had this shit beat into my skull for a long time. And so, as I got older, started teaching, I noticed that my coworkers, they was always like just so desperate for the check to come at the end of the month. I'm like, damn, do y'all not take care of y'all shit correctly? But I had to start over twice. And thank God, like I said, I listened to my mom. Being able to keep what I make literally has saved me. Like this had last January 2025, I lost my job because of DEI Day. From January 31st to July 1st, I spent exactly 5 months looking for work. And a lot of people cannot do that. They cannot, they do not own the savings to be able to just sit there comfortably, even though my mind was always in disarray because I want to be able to work and shit. I don't like not working and not making money. That's who I am as an old people. But being able
Wasn't it upsetting watching that money tick down as the month went by?
Look, ask my lady, let my lady tell it. She was seeing a part of me that she couldn't understand. She couldn't explain. I had to kind of like tell her, like, being ambitious like I am and not being able to find work because, all this shit just was not like nothing was coming through. Nothing. The job I do now, shit's awesome. I'm making everything that I lost back and then some. And shout out to God for that. Shout out to my lady for that because, she actually was walking with me when this shit was going down. Right? She and I started talking right before I had lost my job. And I always shout her out because she didn't have to stay, but she did. And I always respect her for that. And I told her she's coming with me. Fuck what all these other people be saying. Like, I don't play that shit. I don't leave nobody behind that, walk with me to the finish line. I damn sure don't respect nobody that waited at the finish line for me. So,
but if you already established yourself and you met somebody, are they technically waiting for you at the finish line, or were they just meeting you at the finish line because that's when they met you?
Honestly, never really gave much thought about it, but if I'm being honest, the metric of how they would get my attention or even get my curiosity, my attention, or even be able to keep my attention, that would look a little different. Because my particular state at the time changed. And like I said, God got a sense of humor because there were a lot of things that I asked for in my lady that I had no idea was going to show up in the way that it did. The biggest thing was a woman of wise counsel. So for me, being in a vulnerable position that required me to be able to not only be receptive to certain things, but be able to incorporate outside advice into current plans that I already had laid out. Like I told her, I had contingency plans laid out for this. And so sometimes that looked like me listening to her say, babe, slow down. You're burning yourself out. And that was hard for me to do because my mind was always trying to look for work. I would be up late at night. We'd be on the phone together. And she'll be sleeping. She'll be like, babe, go to sleep. And I'd be like, I can't sleep. So I'm just trying to apply stuff. So finally it caught up to me. And I finally did listen to her. And so I'm a Christian man, although I'm half heathen at times. I do believe in submitting to my woman in the aspect of the way that Ephesians talks about it. Because what that looks like for me is making sure that I listen to her because she's my advisor. She makes sure that I don't miss any spots. She makes sure that I'm not going down the wrong path. Just like the generals always have an advisor as a colonel. They always give them good advice. And so if I don't listen to her, I don't just block my blessing, I block hers too. And then I cut my lifespan short. So that's why I try to make sure I listen to her whenever she has suggestions, or I'll be like, hey babe, what you think about this? And she may not understand everything, but she's very in tune with improving the quality of my life. Like she's already taken my major plans and altered them in a way that we can have so much more going when we finally move in together and we get married. So I pray to God for her.
That was a word. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, man, I'm the heathen sometimes, and I like to cut people out if it's young. But I got on.
Saying hello, like hello, like
Oh, I was just saying hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? Hello?
Please, Dr. Farrell, please give me your mic. John, are you finished? What are you in the tunnel?
Sorry, I was folding clothes. I have so much fucking laundry.
No, John, I was talking to John. I think John wanted to finish what he was saying.
Yeah, I'm in great space.
John, are you there?
Yeah, I hope everybody has the best year of your life. It looks like the Iran regime is going to change. The Shah is going to come back. We're going to get all the oil throughout the whole world. Venezuela, Iran. Your gas is going to go to $1 a gallon. $1 a gallon! Can you believe it? You're going to save like 60% when you fill up the tank of your car because gas is going to get so cheap. I'm being facetious, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being facetious. War is a racket. We are spending $1.4 trillion a year.
Yeah. Shit, if I could write down all the words I use in spaces, and now they're just circulating. No, I don't have the rights to the words. But boy, you might as well skin me alive and wear me like last year's massage. How's that sound? I mean, honestly, bamboozled. A spade is a spade. Oh, let me tell you, don't even get me started. Okay, let's continue, please.
Wait, can I just respond to that?
To what?
What that guy said?
Sure, go ahead. We gotta go,
I
Dr. Farrell.
just want to say.
I can't believe how patient he's being. Go ahead, please.
It's amazing. I can't believe that these people are out here telling us they're bringing democracy, and they want a fucking monarch. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So you want a king for your democracy? Explain this to me.
It's really crazy. I don't know where people have lost their scruples.
It literally doesn't make any sense. That's not
What's the deal with Denmark?
You'd rather have an apocalyptic Islamic terrorist?
People have lost their scruples. Watch this. Give it about a week. Everybody's gonna be saying scruples when they're talking in spaces. All right, Dr. Farrell, go ahead, please. Dr. Farrell.
Hey, hello. Hey, everyone. Mike is right. I think Trump has the right to contact the West audience and steal their shit legally in the United States. I just heard that. It's permissible by America. I think it's an amazing thing to have this gas and oil and petrol and diesel and all that shit for nothing. He has the right to want that. And Mike is right. I think that's an amazing thing. Also, going from this principle, Mike is right.
Sleep. What you got to do? What you get done, nigga? I was gonna send that little fat nigga $30 or something. Well, I'm kidding you, that nigga for real, bro. Oh, bro, Brian, little boy, you was a bitch, nigga. I'm a really to your man's about
intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach New York in 2 minutes. Everybody has that now. It's not only China, not only Russia. So there will be consequences. I'm not giving anyone any threats. I really want to sell you that fucking oil for cheap. I want to do that. I wish really to make your life easier, but in exchange to make my fucking life easier. I really want to have your Tucson SUVs to be cheaper. I'm not that rich, but I want to own one because it's a fucking amazing car. It's big, comfortable, and fuck all these Japanese and Asian cars. I don't give a fuck about them. I love NVIDIA, but not to be stained by our children blood in fucking Gaza. I love Intel processors. I don't like AMD, but now I have to buy one because I don't want to support you killing us. Fix your own home, bro. Fix your own house. If you only stop the fucking tranny faggots from entering the bathrooms of your woman, يعني I would respect you يا مش عارف no respect. Zero. Speaking about wars, running your big mouth, you can't protect your woman from a bunch of faggots in your home. You are a faggot. Sorry, Trump is a faggot. I apologize, but Allah, China is winning because they are exchanging shit, giving products, giving respect, not interfering with anyone, internal politics. Why would Trump go and regime change someone for some fucking anarchist Mossad protesters? It's not his fucking, it's not his business. I will end my blame by this, Danny. That happened in the US 2 days ago. There was an accident. A federal agent, he shot a mother of two, a white lady, to her face, 3 fucking times.
Was she a faggot?
It's an accident.
Was she a faggot?
What?
Was she a faggot?
No. She's a victim. She's a civilian. She was a
lesbian.
She was a lesbian, yeah. I don't care. She was a human being. However, that was an accident. Accident. That wasn't an accident. But the government coming out and defending the murderer without judicial order or judicial decision, there is no justice in your country. And they came out and defending a fucking murderer. What the fuck is that? And you come to me and speak about politics? Yeah, really. Have a good day.
The thing is,
Mike is right. You said the rules of engagement. Mike is fucking right. Let's fucking go.
all right. Big Mike. 1 second. We got somebody. Big Mike is right. Yeah, Big Mike is right. Okay, do you want to respond to him, and then we're gonna go.
I actually looked up some information. Did a little bit of research, comparing the flight paths with the last time that we struck Iran. And last time there were carriers, this time there are not carriers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't strike Iran. Based on the analysis from Gemini, if a strike were to happen in 3 days, 3 days was the length of time between
the tankers leaving Hawaii for the last strike in June. So we'll know in 3 days if we're going to bomb Iran at all or not. It does say if it were to happen in 3 days, it would not look like the June 2025 naval heavy bombardment. It would likely be an air-centric strike, relying on the exact tankers you're tracking to feed long-range bombers from outside the region rather than jets launching from aircraft carriers. Essentially, it suggests a different kind of operation, faster, longer range, and less reliant on local waters. And what is there, because there aren't any carriers, it's likely that there are submarines deployed, which would be carrying Tomahawk cruise missiles, and then heavy bombers like B-1, B-8 Lancers have been engaged in Diego Garcia, and fighter squadrons are stationed in Qatar. So it's not going to be the same as last time, but if it does happen within 3 days, it'll look a little different. So I highly doubt that Iran would retaliate at all, because how would they? It's not like they can bomb a ship, right? There are no ships. So good luck with that.
Thanks so much. Choose. Let's continue with hands. Let's go to Key. From Key, we're going to circle back to America. American. Go ahead, Key.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I know Chai is a little upset about Palantir, but I think that for people that kind of understand how, well, people that kind of understand how the software and stuff works, right? When it comes to accountability, like Palantir is actually the company that you want in there, right? Like their stuff, when you use it, they know what you're doing, they know who you're doing it for. You can't just randomly do whatever you want. So I think that's one of the plus sides to using Palantir over some of the other options that are out there, because there's a lot of shit that goes on that doesn't have a name necessarily. There's a lot of different activity in the world, like the gentleman was just talking about in Iran. Whatever they're going to do right now, I have no idea what they're going to do. Are they going to bomb Iran right now? Yeah, more than likely they're probably going to bomb or blow something up, right? Trump said it, right? He said that, hey, if you kill protesters, we're gonna blow some shit up, right? So, it's expected, right? Like Trump has consistently done what he's said that he's going to do, and I just want to put your mind at ease, Chai. Like Palantir is not coming for you, but there's plenty of.
Palantir's so open with their information. They tell you everything about their plans. Is this what you're trying to tell me right now?
No, it's a software company.
Transparent.
It's a software company. They don't do anything.
Oh, they don't do anything.
No, they don't do anything special. Like in the world, in the world that I'm in, it's actually like built.
You guys see this level of gaslighting?
It's not gaslighting. I'm just telling you, if they didn't provide the service, somebody else would. That's the unfortunate reality that we live in.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm serious, and at least they have accountability. Right? So,
Okay. Well, it's against. Oh, okay, it's against your paradise.
It's against some.
Paradise, Chai. Wake up and accept.
Hold on. Let me speak really quick. Sorry, guys. I've been literally trying to grab a water. It took forever. Let me just explain something. I'll be very.
Wait, did you go down the river?
I actually had to go all the way to the basement. I didn't have anything in the fridge.
You had to boil the water.
No, I didn't have anything in the fridge, so I literally have to go somewhere else. Walter, welcome. Thank you for joining episode 2.5, After Hours. But I will say this. Key is actually 100% right, Jay. And I'm not going to say anything more than this.
Have you little Palantir kumbaya?
I'm not. It's not a kumbaya, okay?
These boys from Palantir.
Okay, so I hate having to use the mute all button. I hate having to use it. But Chai, you gotta let me speak. When you sign up, again, when you sign up for using Palantir in general, just to use it, you can't use it if you're not an American citizen. They have your address, your full documentation of you using it, if you do use it. You can't just, walk in. time you do use it, they know what you're doing with it. 1,000,000%. I have never used it and then thought that you could use it for evil. They will shut your shit down. 1,000,000% if you do. I know this personally, and like I said, I know people that are there that work there. If I really thought they were dangerous, I'm really open about everything. I would just be like, this is a dangerous company.
Wow, amazing. So these companies that work for the military to actually have full surveillance over civilians are so kind.
You're not understanding. 90% of the companies that are Fortune 500 companies work for the government. What are you saying? Microsoft, Dell, HP. HP provides the servers to the Defense Department. Dell provides the computers. Cisco provides the VPNs. This is already known. If you've ever worked in enterprise software ever, this is automatic. Like Microsoft Teams that's installed on your computer when you buy it is the same thing that they use to communicate in the Department of Defense between people. I don't know what you're saying here, but if like Lemire was saying, if this is the case, you back yourself into a corner where you're using a stick and a rock and you're trying to make fire. It's just how it is.
Okay, can I explain?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
but that's the truth.
After you explain, we have to go to your hands because they're waiting patiently.
And I also want to I want to talk to Walter about his travels between the last couple places he's been with protests as well.
So Chai, respond. I'm going to go to the hands. If anybody else wants to come up, you're more than welcome to request a mic. Just raise your hand and we'll come to you. Go ahead, Chai.
Okay, thanks. I'll be really quick. The reason Palantir is considered one of the biggest threats is because Palantir has these programs, and I don't know all their names, but they have like one called like Gotham or Foundry or something.
Yeah, Gotham, Foundry.
They work with governments all over the world, intelligence agencies. They literally help militaries to double down on being authoritarian.
Okay, so like Chai, I gotta stop you in your tracks because this just goes to show that you don't work in IT.
I don't work in IT, so let me just say my point.
That just goes to show that you don't.
Defensive. Let me just finish.
You're not understanding it. This is like okay.
What you're saying. Let me just.
Hold on, Chai, just stop for a second, okay? Just listen to me and understand. If this is the case and they have those softwares, here's the thing. It's like a license. If you go buy a computer, you have a license to Microsoft Windows. Doesn't mean that Microsoft has control of your software. It means that you are licensed to use that software. That's exactly what Palantir does. Hey, government, you want to use this? This is what you want? Okay, here's the software provider. Our hands are off after that. We'll give you support if it breaks, but that's it. That's how software companies work. Just FYI. Like, they're not sitting there like Palantir's there pressing the buttons, surveilling UK citizens. They just give the software so they can.
Authoritarians aren't going to want to, they're not going to want to have all that tracking, Chai. I'm just telling you, right now in Iran, you see what's happening. You think they got volunteers?
The head of Palantir himself said this is a beautiful thing because it helps with mass surveillance, okay? He says it enhances security. He thinks that it helps with counterterrorism. But the problem that a lot of people have with it is that these countries and these authoritarian groups that use it are using it for mass surveillance. They try to basically go after citizens. For example, ICE is using it right now. Like I told you guys, they have weird technology where they can just take pictures of people.
Chai, that technology, okay, I gotta stop it again. That technology existed before Palantir existed as a company. Even a thought.
Alex.
I'm just letting you know that, Chai. This shit has existed well prior. If you remember Minority Report.
Why are you so defensive of it? Are you their employee or something?
No, because I just think it's hilarious that you're. I think it's funny that you guys are so.
I want to say that Chai. So Chai, listen. You know when you used to go to a club and you had to show your ID. That was sort of like digital ID, but it was just a different level of it, very low level. It was just the beginning of it. Like Jordan just said it. Palantir is like minority.
But now you have to give your blood at the door. It's okay.
Well, they've been taking your blood for years. They Red Cross. Do you think they haven't been collecting your DNA? You think they just started doing it 20 minutes ago? All this stuff has been happening a long time. This is why they've been taking pictures of us when we were in school, grade school. Every year they take pictures. They want to find out.
Why are you so scared of the cameras?
I'm not scared. Are you kidding me? You guys should be scared. You guys got a longer
So,
life.
hold on. Okay.
I'm not scared.
Hold on. Let me just be honest here. Chai, have you flown in the last 10
I
years?
fly all the fucking time.
Okay, then.
Oh, don't tell her, Jordan.
Then you've already been inside this program for well longer than you even think about it. Like, I hate to tell you, every single time you walk through an airport, every single time you walk through an airport, every single time you cross a border.
I'm aware that they already have everything.
Chai, there's nothing. I
know
check
they
every
already
day.
have everything on us. But the point is, you guys shouldn't feel so weird when we say, hey, this is a concern, that we're all just...
Who's feels weird?
None of us feel weird. We're like, dude, you're
No, I wish Palantir would go out there and pop people's eyebrows out.
Now they can just come in the middle of the night and rape your child, and it's totally legal. Oh!
No, I think that's
how did you get there, Chai? Jesus.
Oh, Chai!
I love listening to the people that. I love listening to people talk about this.
So let's go. So Walter, one second. We have people right before you, Walter. I will come to you really quickly. Just give me a second. We have I want to go to where is it? Where is he? He left. Okay,
I'll just be honest, Santino. I don't want to talk about this because
why? How many times have I talked about Palantir? And I want to talk about the other. And by the way, just to give you an FYI, I was talking about that building a civilization on Mars. Building something. Oh, hello and behold, in 2036, there's going to be a hotel there. Oh yeah, Total Recall. I spoke about that. Yeah, the same storytelling, the narrative of the writer of Palantir, Murder Report, and Total Recall. It's all happening in real time. Yet, Jordan, it goes in one ear and out the other. And that's why I'm so perplexed when I talk about it. Because how many times can I talk about it? Fred, mute your mic.
You believe they're going to go to Mars?
Fred, mute your mic, Fred. I'm going to Walter. I want someone that it's more, leveled. Go ahead, Walter, please. Help me.
Well, just generally speaking, this entire topic, I've always thought it's retarded because every single person in here has social media, and social media is the greatest tracking tool that has ever existed. Like, you all have Facebook. They know what time you go to the fucking bathroom, people. Like, chill, all right? You think Palantir is serious, like, chill. I just don't care about this topic because it's stupid. This topic, everybody that likes to pretend as if you're data security.
I remember Walter in one of the spaces, he actually said, people were pushing back on that beautiful bill, that 10-year cap. No, we don't want it. No, we don't want it. But Walter stood up for it because he says, we need to have it because we need to be ahead of China. Is that correct, Walter?
Well, that's a whole different topic, but yes, that's true.
I agree with you.
China doesn't care at all about what they have to do to get ahead of this war. I mean, that doesn't matter to them at all. If you think that we're not going to try and compete with them, you guys are crazy. You want them to win all of these AI wars, it's not a smart decision. It's just not good. We need to be able to do all sorts of things. And the reality is that the tech companies we have in the United States are the only advantage we have over the top of the rest of the world. So we need to be able to win.
Thank you so much, Walter. Okay, we're going to go to hands because I want to see what everybody else. Let's go to, we're going to go to American. Go ahead, American. From American, we're going to go to Lemire. From Lemire, we're going to go to Fred. From Fred, we're going to go to John. And then we're going right back to the host because the host wants to ask a couple of questions.
I have a lot of questions I have to ask Walter about his travels.
So, American, 1 second. Jordan has a lot of questions to ask Walter. He is a host. We're lucky to have.
Let American talk. Just make it 30 seconds, and because I know that he's over there right now.
Can I make it? I'm not over there right now, but I was just saying, here's the reality when it comes to digital tracking. Like, you're digitally tracking yourselves. Like, I, as a civilian, on a library computer using Maltego, PIM-eyes, and Geospy.ai have basically the capabilities of Palantir. Like, just as a normal dude, right? Because it's like Walter said.
right? The technology exists and you're doing it to yourselves. That being
Hold on,
said,
hold on. I actually have a really crazy announcement too. We're also going to be talking to the director of operations at GeoSpy coming up as well. She's a good friend, so we're going to be talking to her as well. And I know Chai's going to hate that, but it's going to be a really cool conversation.
I would love to talk to her because the reality situation is they paywalled that. That was a great resource for people like me. I'd love to be part of that space. But so the thing is like, that being said, if you're really worried about it, it only tracks your digital twin, and you can manufacture your digital twin to be anywhere you want it to be. You can manufacture digital twin to have an address where people come to look at that address. Not only are you not there, but there are people there to tell you that people came to look at the address. So it's not like this be all end all of everything. Like it really isn't. You know. And then one thing I want to talk about the Iran thing. Look, so sometimes wars are not about economics, guys. Sometimes they're about population demographics. I put some population papers I did in the purple pill. It's a mega upload link. It's 5 PDFs. About a week ago, I'm ex-military. I'm not even in the military anymore. But because I, by circumstance, became aware of this, I didn't know what else to do. So I have since passed it up my chain of command through my VA advocate, whatever that looks like. I gave it to my VA advocate. I was like, I don't know how to get this to where it needs to go, but someone important should read it, right? I recommend people familiarize yourself with that information. It really does change the conversation when we're talking about geopolitics. It really, really does. Believe what you will, but check it out at least. I would recommend. If Khamenei goes against the protesters, it's likely there'll be some retaliation at this point, and I think based off information. And then lastly, I do want to talk about Palantir on an interpersonal level. Like, look, no matter how open they are as a network, right, as a network company, they're also running, like, some real massive covert situations down in South America having to do with the creation of large cult-like polygamous compounds. And that is a problem with their fucking business structure, and that has to be sorted out at some point.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. Can we not talk about software anymore? We're going to have a space for it. I just actually messaged the director of operations. She'll come by. She might actually tune in here in a few minutes. I asked her to come by at 11 East, so maybe she'll come by, maybe she won't, and we can have this conversation while she's here. But I'm not trying to have a conversation about Palantir and surveillance states, because, like, I hate to tell you guys, but, like...
Did I lose your bonus or what?
I don't lose a bonus for not talking about Palantir.
No, we're talking about it.
I don't get anything for talking about them. I use their software because I know it's good. I use Greylark every once in a while because I know it's good. It's the same way that I use Grok for certain things because I know it's good. It's the same way I use OpenAI for certain things that I know it's good. No, it doesn't. You just don't know how to use it.
It literally uses
No, you don't know how to use it. I can tell you right now, you don't know how to use it because every AI model is used for something specific, and it's used for something probably outside of your realm.
Useless.
No, it's not. If you're a coder, it's one of the fastest coders in the world.
I'm not a coder.
Then it's not for you. Everything doesn't work. The world doesn't revolve around you, Chai.
No, but you're saying it's great or something.
Chai, you're wasting your time and everybody's time.
I gotta bring Walter back because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what's going on with ICE.
We do have hands up. Should we go to the hands and then?
Hold on, Jordan. Who was talking before you? That guy.
That was
American.
Walter. Oh, it was American.
Oh, American. I just want to tell you, it's not pronounced Khomeini. The K silence. It's Khomeini.
American should just call you a hoe.
No, he's a Islamic dictator, and I'm glad he's going down.
War. You should at least know how to say the guy's name.
Oh, wait.
It's not going to be that long.
Let's continue. We have two people waiting patiently. Let's go to Lamar. I think that's how you say Lamar. And then we're going to go Bushmaster. And then I think that's it. If anybody else wants to come up, more than welcome. Raise your hands. We'll come to you. Go ahead, please.
I'll be really quick. So, short story. When I was going through intelligence training at Quantico, there was a book we were forced to read, and Chai, I recommend this to everyone, but this is just to give you perspective. The book was called Fair Play, The Morality of Intelligence Activities, and it basically puts the reader in a position to understand the nuances of how the national security decisions are made. This is not just how the U.S. government or national security apparatus
collaborates with big business, but what we do abroad in support of our national security objectives. And I remember very starkly, it was very uncomfortable for me because I was a young intel officer. I was trying to grapple with my own moral standard for what's happening around the world. And it was, what would you do to protect your own family? And one of the specific questions in that book was, would you, if you knew that it would result in information that would save your family's members' lives, torture a person? This is not to be a gotcha. It's hold on. No. Just listen. Please listen to understand instead of listening to respond. It's not a gotcha. It's designed to put you in a position to where, would you make a hard choice that goes against your moral compass if you understood that the ultimate good on the other side would be, quote, worth it? And that's the point of a lot of this stuff. Speaking away from the technological software part of it, when you look at some of the things that the U.S. government does, and I'm no cheerleader for Uncle Sam. Trust me, I resigned in 2021 because I was like, you know what, I'm just done. But there's a reality to this, and it's baked into a foreign policy ideology or framework called realist political theory. And that is, nations will do what's in the best interest of themselves. So try to look at the world outside of a moral compass and things get infinitely more clear. I'm not saying the U.S. is the good guy all the time. I'm not saying Russia's good or Iran or China or North Korea.
Stop talking over him, please.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I just want to tell you something that really funny that happened. American, you just talked about Greylark. They just followed, like the owners of Geospy. So clearly people are listening. So can we just not have this conversation right now, please? Like, literally, we can have this conversation about surveillance states when they come and they explain their product. I don't want to talk about them in a way where as though they can't defend themselves, knowing that I think it's a good company. I think all of these companies are good companies. I don't think that they don't start I don't think they start these companies to do harm.
Send the drone. He's lying.
I don't think they create these companies for harm. Walter, I think he just joined back on Wi-Fi. So
could I just finish really quick, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the only point I'm making is, so there's a standard in the U.S. intelligence community called Intelligence Community Directive 203, and it's basically the analytic guardrails that put the intelligence community in a box, regardless of what you think of them. But one of the analytic tradecraft standards is objectivity, and objectivity calls for us to remove our own personal bias from assessing an issue. The only thing I ask is, especially for Chai, please go read that book. I would love to follow up with you and then look at the world outside of your own personal bias. If you could just stop interrupting me, bro.
Yeah, please try. Let him finish his thought. Try. Listen, I know. He's just asking. He's just requesting. He's just saying if you have some time. Fair enough. Let's go.
It's not a CIA book, but it will provide you just a different perspective to view the world through. That's it. And I'm done. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Can I just respond to that?
No. We're trying.
It's for you to torture people.
Okay. Wait a second, Troy. Wait your time. Wait your turn. He just said, I want to get these other people's hands. 1 second, please. Because we have Cassandra up here, too. I want to hear her perspective. Can I go through these hands first?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm just going to tell you, Chai, it's a really dirty game out there. And,
I know.
What people are willing to do and what people want to do and what people's moral clarity is are 3 completely different things. And people don't realize that at all. And part of the reason why these companies do exist is because that morality is ixnayed out with that software, right? You can press a button and look away and it's already happened. It's too late. That's part of the reason, and it's just kind of unfortunate.
George,
that's where we live in.
George, the only example I can give for
for the law of the listeners that may resonate with this. It's like that movie Showgirls. You know where she gets the marbles and she throws them across the floor, and she makes sure that woman breaks her ankle going down the friggin' stairs. It's sort of like that because she wants to get to that lead role. It's sort of like that. Get it? Okay. On that note, let's continue, please. Let's go to where should I go, please? Showgirls.
I'm telling you, it's a crazy place. Hold on. Before we take hands, I'm just gonna ask you guys. Let's hold off on hands really quick because I only have Walter for a limited amount of time, and I want to go over what happened in Ohio with the fraud, and I also want to go over what happened in Portland with the riots with Walter. These are both two situations that happened in between the chaos of us going to war, and I think a lot of it got looked over. Some of it, obviously the stuff in Minneapolis didn't get looked over, but Ohio only happened for 6 hours, and obviously it's something that we want to talk about. So, Walter, can you share your experience with what happened on the ground in Ohio and also what happened in Portland as we move forward? I'm sure everybody here will have questions because everybody here, for the most part, talks about immigration day to day.
Well, the Ohio investigation that's just part of the fraud investigation that I've been working on for months at this point, but it kind of hit a fever point with Nick Shirley's video going viral everywhere. But obviously the daycare fraud and stuff that I was looking at, I just, when his video went viral, I started looking at daycare stuff and ended up finding a specific group that was operating inside of Ohio called the Somalian Education Resource Center that had received something along the lines of $40-something million over the past, a few years or so. Essentially 6 years, it's received almost all of that money. And essentially we found the location of it. It took us all day to figure out where the hell it was because they had multiple different locations listed. Almost all of them were defunct addresses, but we finally did find it, and it was nothing but an empty room. There's nothing there. So, it's obviously all fraud. But that lined up pretty nicely with the rest of the stuff we're looking at for the daycares because that organization was operating and sending all of those daycares, supposedly supposed to be sending all those daycares, millions of dollars worth of food, which never happened and never existed. So, this fraud investigation has only continued to spiral, and part of the reason I went out to Portland was, one, there was a source out there that I wanted to go talk to about fraud in that area, but that was also the exact same time period that, 2 people got shot in Portland. So, from ICE, and that was apparently, I was wondering if that was going to turn into a big riot. Not really, though. It didn't really turn into a big riot because all of the people there, they had, essentially I was on the ground listening to these people. They said all their best people were in Minneapolis. So, essentially the Antifa group is, very well organized. If people haven't figured it out, that none of this stuff is organic. I mean, I'll tell you right now, Portland is ridiculous because they've got enough money that they can pay these people to hang out there, set up their streets with, candles and flowers and serve fucking meat and cheese trays. I'm not even kidding. That's a real thing. They were serving meat and cheese hors d'oeuvres one night, and with girls, like Venezuelan girls in pretty outfits and whatnot. I'm not joking. That was happening one of the nights I was there. I was like, oh yeah, everybody here, you all think this is normal? Like, yeah, this just happens. They bring out the waitresses and beautiful Venezuelan decor and serve meat and cheese on the side of the street of an ICE facility. This is totally organic. There's nothing strange here. I mean, it's very obvious that we have had absolutely no effect on the money line that is supporting all this stuff, which is what I've been working on for, I don't know, more than a year at this point. But just recently it's kind of taken off because of all the focus on fraud again.
So here's my question for you. Where obviously I know you linked up with 2 of my friends that are over there. I'm pretty sure Haley and Katie. Is this an everyday thing that's happening in Portland? Is it just, or is this just where it's getting more more visibility than it did? I would say probably about 6 months ago.
From what I understand from Haley, it's every day. It's like that every single day. There's no difference. It happens all the time. It's constant protest outside of that place, and it hasn't ended. I mean, obviously it was 6 months ago, and it was like, there was constant, disorder, and all those guys were out there, and there was the Antifa encampment outside of it. But there's still people there every night of the week. I mean, they have a protest outside of that thing all the damn time. It's a consistent and sustained